All right. What's up, everybody? Let me know if the background song is too loud. I tried to make it faint because I know my mic isn't very loud on the stream, but let me know how it sounds. And yeah, Monday game at, well, 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. my time. Is there a holiday in the States today? Because there's a lot of early games on, and that usually only happens weekdays if there's a holiday. Change your name to Mo Raymond. It's good? Alright, sweet. Yeah, I know most people are actually probably in school right now. Or working, but I was going to make a video, but then I saw that Detroit was playing at 2 p.m., which I had no clue they were until I woke up, and then I was like, might as well just stream instead. Do you show gameplay, or is just that screen? Yeah, it's just like the game center thing here on NHL. I can't show the gameplay, of course, or the stream will get taken down, but yeah, I wish I could, but $4.99 from D Benny Boy Games, who says, hello, how many subs for a face reveal? I've actually already done a face reveal. A lot of people don't know that, but it's just a picture on the community tab when I hit 50,000 subscribers. You'll have to scroll down a good bit to find it, but it is there. Broadcast. Let me watch the Detroit broadcast. I gotta make sure you guys can't hear that though, but I think I have the desktop audio muted. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I think I'm good now. This up. There we go. Hopefully this game is similar to the game on Saturday between the Red Wings and Sabres. It was one of Detroit's most dominant wins of the year. I'm from Europe, so school done a long time ago. Well, that's good, I guess, for European viewers. You don't have to stay up till the middle of the night. Do you think we should trade Zadina? No. I don't know how I feel about him long term, but if you trade him now, you're probably not getting anything really of value back. His value is probably at an all-time low, so I just don't think there'd really be any point to trading him right now. I'm watching this game right now. Right on, yeah. We'll try to sync it up, but it's kind of hard because some of the streams are all, you know, at different times and stuff. But I wish I could show the thing on the screen, but yeah, that would be a quick way to get a copyright strike. But basically, if this is your first time, if you weren't in the first stream for the Ducks versus Red Wings, basically we just hang out, watch the game together, like you guys have it on in the background, and then have the stream on. Did you watch any of the football games? No, I did not. I usually watch like the Super Bowl, but I'm not a huge football fan, so I usually only watch until like the Super Bowl game. Wish me luck. Gotta watch Montreal later on. Well, it should at least be a good game against Arizona. I think they're playing, right? Love the channel. Thank you, Top Shelf. What are my predictions? I can't see Detroit having another blowout win like they did last time against Buffalo, but I'm still expecting a win. I don't give Kachuk. What's up, man? Yeah, midday on a Monday. That's why I asked, is it like a holiday in the States? But I don't know. No one said it was yet, so. Lego Rocks, what's going on, man? Should be a fun game, though. As fun as a 2 p.m. game between the Red Wings and Sabres can be. Hank Bowl? Yeah. I mean, if Detroit is doing as well as they are, then you could say that for this game, too. Like Montreal and Arizona. But I guess that one's a little bit more intense. Wild Avalanche later on. What time's that game start? That should be a really good game. Ryan the Meme Guy, what's going on? 2 goals for Suter tonight, 1 for Fabry, 3-2 OT finish. It's MLK Day? Okay, well. That makes sense then. MLK. Oh yeah, it is. Right on. Well, that makes sense then. 3 p.m. 2 hours later. Okay. Yeah, so there's games on all day then. At least there's always going to be something to watch. Work until 5 p.m. each time, so... Yeah, I don't know if I'll still be live then. I mean, maybe we could do another game after this, but I don't know. After the last stream, or the first stream, my voice was gone after the Red Wings game. So we'll see. Sider, please score. I would like to see Sider score. He hasn't scored since the OT goal against the Islanders, I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was an empty netter, but I know 2 of his 3 goals he has were OT winners. Is Raymond going to score? I hope so. Hopefully he can get on a hot streak now that he kind of broke his scoreless drought last game. $88 viewers in here. That's pretty good for what time it is. For hut purposes, yeah, I have Sider's Evo card as well. Raymond Hattie today, that would be nice. Pick a number between 1 and 99. 23. You're watching a movie? What movie are you watching? I feel like Raymond goes off. Should the Wings trade for Chychrun? Honestly, I mean, I would love that. I mean, I think he fits the timeline with him being only 23. Like, say Detroit's, a legit contender 3 years from now, he'd be 26, like right in the middle of his prime. The only thing that would worry me about that is they'd likely have to give up their first-round pick from this year, which has the potential to be very good. Even though Detroit's in the playoff hunt, I don't think they're going to make it. I still think they're going to be drafting in the lottery. And then you'd also probably have to give up like a top-notch prospect, a decent young roster player. There would have to be a lot of pieces going the other way. So I don't know if Detroit has the depth to make that work yet, but I mean, I wouldn't complain about it. I think Steve Eisman could pull it off, but I don't see it happening. For you, it's 8 p.m., so it's perfect. Yeah, that is perfect. You're saying Skinner snipe for the first goal. He's having a decent year, isn't he? He's on pace for like 25, 30 goals. Yes, we could have drafted Chychrun, but at least we got Hronek in that draft, I believe. That was the draft we took Cholowski in the first round. And then it was, yeah, Hronek in the second round, I think. Which is ironic because obviously, Cholowski didn't really pan out, but Hronek did at least. Another 99 cents from D. Benny Boy Games. Thank you for the super chat. Let me join the stream, man. I would love for that to happen. I just don't know how to do that. I'll have to shoot you a DM after this stream, and then you can kind of let me know how to set that up. But yeah, I'm still trying to kind of learn things. The song I have playing is just on a loop. I didn't know how to set up a playlist. I only know how to set up one song, so I guess a lot of you are probably going to get sick of that song by the end of the stream, but that's why I tried to have it really faint. When Vrana returns, does he play second line or get slotted back in the first? It's tough to say. I was going to say, like, I can't see Detroit wanting to break up their top line, but they already have done that. I mean, Bertuzzi's playing on the second line tonight. I could see him playing on the second line with Zadina and Suter, though, because him and Zadina had some good chemistry towards the end of last season. Man, it looks empty in Buffalo. There's nobody at the game. I think Thomas Greiss just got placed in COVID protocol today, actually, too, so another start for Nedeljkovic, which I'm not going to complain about. Yeah, but Gio, send me a DM after this stream, and then you can kind of let me know how to set that up, and maybe next time we can do that. Thoughts on Cousins? I like Dylan Cousins. I don't know if he's ever going to be like a face of the franchise, point per game, 80-plus point player, but I think he's going to be a really good top 6 forward for a long time. Show your face? I actually don't have a face cam set up, so I wouldn't be able to do that even if I wanted to. All right, puck drop. Like I said, it looks completely empty in Buffalo. Will Tage Thompson have a 40-point year? I think that's definitely in the cards. He's on pace for like 20, 25 goals, isn't he? All right, so Detroit isn't hemmed in their zone for the first shift of the game, which is always a good sign. Actually getting some good pressure here. Yeah, so Nemesnikov is up with Larkin and Raymond, just like he was last game. And honestly, those lines, like, kind of 1 through 4 looked pretty good, so I can see why they're going back to it. Florida Panthers Cup contenders? I would say so, yes. Florida's like the most insane team to watch in the league. On Saturday, I had the game on against Columbus, and I swear, like, I looked away to, like, pick something up, and I looked back, and it was, like, 3-0. They score so fast, and they score in bunches, too. They're fun to watch, unless your team's playing against them. Page has 23 points so far, so yeah, I think he can hit 40. 17 more for the rest of the year. Larkin, 85 points this year. Raymond, 70 points. I don't know about Larkin, 85 points, just because maybe if he were to play all 82 games, then yeah, but he's already missed, you know, a decent handful of games, right? So I can't see 85 points for Larkin, but I think he's going to stay around a point per game for the entire season, which would be, you know, the best offensive year of his career. You're going to the Wings game this Saturday at Nashville. Nice, man. That'll be fun. The Kodak effect. Yeah, that was insane. Minnesota is hella fun to watch. They are. Thoughts on Mikheyev? He's actually been able to finish this season, which is nice. He had this solid rookie season, and then he just wasn't able to score last year, even though he'd get all the chances. But this year, he's actually been able to finish those chances, so that's nice for Toronto. All right, 17:45 to go in the first period. Has the game score not updated? Let me refresh that for you guys. There we go. That should be better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. What do you think the Oilers should do to get back into the playoffs? I mean, they got to do something, but Ken Holland's already came out and said that his first-round pick is off the table. He's not going to go all in, which I think is ridiculous. I feel like you should be trying to go all in every year. You have McDavid and Draisaitl, especially, you know, considering they're not old by any means, but, like, you know, the years are kind of dwindling away, and they've never really been able to go on a deep playoff run besides, like it was McDavid's sophomore season. They went to the second round, and they haven't been, well, they have been back to the playoffs since, but they haven't got out of the first round since, so. When do you think the Wings start to retire jerseys again, like Datsuk, Fedorov, Hank, all need their numbers retired? Well, I think Datsuk's will come when he's retired from playing professionally. Obviously, he's still playing in the KHL, so I think that has to happen first. As far as Fedorov goes, I'm honestly not sure why his number isn't retired yet, but even if they don't retire those three guys' numbers, those are numbers that I feel like nobody will wear on the Red Wings anyways, so it may not be in the rafters yet, but I feel like you can almost say that they are retired. Pretty slow pace to this game to start off, which is probably to be expected. You know, different start time. The Raymond, Larkin, Nemesnikov line looks good, though. I'm liking Nemesnikov a lot, man. He's had a really good year. You can tell he loves playing for the Red Wings, which is nice. I hope we don't just trade him for like a, you know, 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick or something. I'd rather just hold on to him at that point. Makar will win Norris. There's a good chance he does. Going to be a good Norris race this year. Speaking of, do you think it's a 3-man Norris race? Fox, Makar, and Hedman all seem good picks right now. Yeah, those are probably the top 3 candidates right now, which, I mean, that was kind of the race last year, was between those 3, and honestly, I could see it being between those 3 for the next, like, 5 years, honestly, depending on how long Victor Hedman plays at this level. Can the Wings make the playoffs? I mean, they obviously could, but it's going to be really, really tough. They are in the 9 seed, but, like, even if it was back when the top 8 teams made it from each conference, Detroit is in the 9 seed right now, but they're so far behind Boston. The Eastern Conference playoff race, I feel like, is almost already solidified. In terms of the teams that are in a playoff spot right now, I think they're going to remain in the playoff spot. I mean, obviously, seeding can change and stuff like that, but yeah. The playoff race in the Eastern Conference isn't quite as exciting as it is in the West. Do you think Owen Power will live up to the hype? I do. And I don't even really think there's like a ridiculous amount of hype around him to begin with, especially when he was drafted. Obviously, I feel like the hype has went up since his hat trick in the World Juniors and him putting up the kind of offensive numbers he is this year. But I like Owen Power a lot. I think, especially with a guy like Rasmus Dahlin, where Owen Power is not going to be expected to be like the kind of the horse on their blue line in a lot of cases. You know, they're going to rely on Dahlin a lot too. So I think he's going to be really good. Pick for most surprising team to have a chance to make the playoffs right now. I feel like it has to be one of the California teams. I would probably say the Ducks. I didn't think the Ducks were going to be this good at all. And they've been really fun to watch too. They have a nice mix of like young players and veterans. So I would go with the Ducks. The video I was going to make today actually was, it was going to be like a one from every team video, but I was going to just like ramble on for about 45 seconds about every single team. Basically just whatever I wanted to talk about. So that'll probably be moved to tomorrow now, since we're streaming, but just a heads up for something, that'll be something to look forward to. Should Edvinsson start in the NHL next season? If yes, which veteran D-man would you want the Red Wings to sign? I think Edvinsson probably will start in the NHL next season, especially when you look at Detroit's left side. I mean, they're all unrestricted free agents, so. And as far as what veteran D-man I'd like the Red Wings to sign, off the top of my head, I know Hampus Lindholm is going to be a UFA, but I feel like he might be a little bit, you know, pricey, and we know Steve Yzerman, he's a little bit stingy with, you know, the contracts he gives out, and he doesn't like to give it a lot of term either, so I don't really know if Detroit will be, you know, in the play for a big name free agent like that yet anyways, but I would like to see Hampus Lindholm, but I think he'll be a little bit out of Detroit's price range, and Steve Yzerman won't want to give him the type of term that he wants. Already like almost 7 minutes into this game. Really nothing has happened. The shots are 1-0 Buffalo. Sider just got a shot though, so shots are 1-1 now. How do you think they will fix the All-Star Weekend / game? I don't think they're going to do anything. I think they should make it different. Obviously, I don't think one team should have a representative. I know they want every team represented there, but you can still put players from like the bad teams or guys that wouldn't be an all-star in most cases in like the skills competition, hardest shot, breakaway challenge, stuff like that. So Detroit won't play us. Their team's really bad. Raymond is way overhyped. I mean, I agree with the first part of what you said. If Detroit won't make the playoffs, their team is really bad. I don't agree with what you said about Raymond Insider though. But yeah, Detroit is still bad. I just feel like now that they have like top and star talent, it kind of masks that a little bit. Obviously, Nedeljkovic steals a ton of games. Matthews has been hot lately. Does he continue? Probably, yeah. I think I've seen something where, like, his last 82 games, he has scored 60 goals, which is pretty insane. Ryan the Meme Guy says, hey, if there is a Maple Leafs versus Panthers first round, who wins and what game I'm at? I'll say Panthers in 6 or 7. I like the Panthers a lot. That'd be really... it's going to be like... the Atlantic Division's tough, man. Like, there's going to be a very, very good team eliminated in the first round. Toronto, Tampa, Boston, Florida, obviously. One of those teams. You doubt Lindholm gets to free agency. Either he re-signs with Anaheim or gets traded. Yeah, I can see that happening too. I'm excited for the trade deadline because there's a lot of guys that are set to become UFAs that are still without a contract. That could be, you know, big-time rentals at the deadline. Is that a fake Leg of Rocks? I don't think it is a fake one. I think he's just trolling. You hope your Panthers make it to the Cup. This year they have a chance, definitely, with the team that they have. How long does Blashill stay in Detroit? Honestly, I have no idea anymore. Thank you. What was the deal he signed in the offseason? I don't even know if like the term came out, but I think it was leaked by Pierre LeBrun or somebody, and I think it's 2 years, so this will be the first year. I think likely he's the coach next season too. I can't see them moving on from him in the offseason. Honestly, think Blashill is going to try to have, or not Blashill. I think Yzerman is going to try to have Blashill, you know, see this rebuild through. But I mean, when Detroit is supposed to be turning the corner, when they're supposed to be like actual playoff contenders and maybe they aren't and they have a disappointing season, then I could see them maybe looking to move on from him. But there wasn't really a reason to yet anyways from like the GM perspective. So will Yakubov come back to the NHL? Probably not. 12:45 to go in the first period here. Shots are 2-1 Detroit. Again, not a whole lot of things going on here. Kind of just dump and chase back and forth. Like to see Detroit get some sustained pressure here. They have the top line out, but can't really get anything going. Larkin gets a shot on goal. So shots 3-1 Detroit. Not a very high quality chance though by any means. 112 viewers in here. That's pretty good. I did not think there was going to be that many people in here. So, in the States, since it's MLK Day, do you guys have to go to school? Or do you get school off? Who will be top 3 in the Pacific Division? I think Vegas will be in there. Honestly, I think Anaheim could stay there as well. And I think Calgary ends up, turning it back on and they get in there. So I'll go Vegas, probably Calgary maybe as the 2 seed, and then Anaheim. No school? All right, well, perfect then. So I guess it makes sense that we have over 100 viewers then if there's no school. You have tomorrow off too? Nice. You got a snow day? Yeah, there's not quite a lot of snow outside here, but it's pretty nasty out. Very windy. Thoughts on Rasmussen? Ain't a bust, but definitely not living up to the hype. I was never that high on Rasmussen to begin with, so I've been pleased with the way he's been playing this season, honestly. I think defensively, he uses his reach well. He's learning to use his body a lot better, like in board battles in the offensive zone as well. So I think Rasmussen has been fine. Yeah, I wouldn't call him a bust, but yeah, it doesn't live up to being, what was he, a 9th overall pick, but I still think he's a very useful player. Who's my favorite Red Wing? I think it's still Larkin, but I mean, Seider and Raymond are right there. Do the Oilers have a chance at a potential top 10 pick? I mean, they keep playing the way they are right now, then yes, definitely. A $5 super chat from Zyphris. Hopefully I said that properly. I apologize if I didn't. I don't think it's possible for the Stars to tank enough this year for Shane Wright, but should they consider a tank next year for Bedard or Michkov? I think that kind of depends on how their offseason goes. Depending on what they get back for Klingberg, if they get back assets that are going to help them win right now, or if they, get younger players, draft picks, stuff like that, then I could see them doing a mini retool. Sort of like what the Rangers did when they traded Ryan McDonough, Matt Zuccarello, all those guys, back in 2017. So maybe, I don't think it would be a bad decision at all if they don't view themselves as legit contenders. Then why not just tear it down for a year or two and give yourself a chance at a potential generational player like Bedard or Michkov? I don't think that would be a bad idea at all. I think a lot of teams are going to do that, honestly. I think we're going to see more teams maybe than we would in any other year decide that they're going to take a year off and try to get the highest draft pick possible. Do you think the Oilers may be tanking? Definitely not intentionally, no. I don't think any team with Draisaitl and McDavid, this many years into their career would be intentionally tanking. There is so many people on the chat because everyone is essentially treating the stream like a free Q&A and a hot takes time. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I feel like that's the fun of it. And there's a lot of people in here that, maybe they don't get their questions asked in or answered in the Ask Me Anything. So obviously you have a good chance of getting it answered here. Well, Buffalo just scored. Henry Yokiharu. I didn't even really see what happened. That was kind of a weird goal. Let's see this replay. So one face-off back to Yokiharu. Dahlin gives it back to him. Who'd that tip off of? It looked like it might have went in off Seider, actually. Or Pius Suter. I think it hit a Red Wing for sure. Or maybe Alex Tuck tipped it in? I don't know. It hit somebody. It changed direction. That stinks. 1-0 for the Sabres, basically halfway through the first period here. Honestly, want to trade Klingberg for a guy like Brandon Kylo and a high-ish pick. Or Brandon Carlo and a high-ish first pick. Yeah. I don't think that would be a bad return. I like Brandon Carlo. I feel like he gets a little bit overlooked, obviously. You know, the likes of McAvoy there. Even Grzelcyk is, like, really good now, too. But Brandon Carlo is pretty important for them. All right, Detroit looking to respond here. They got the top line out. Mark Stahl, the slap shot gets deflected. Not out of play, I guess. Some good sustained pressure here by Detroit's top line, though. Oh, my. Raymond almost just had a very nice assist to Nemesnikov out front. Damn, dude. It hit Sider and then went in. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was either him, Tuck, or Suter. Who scored? I missed it. It was Henry Yokiharu, I think. But Tuck may have gotten a piece. I'm not quite sure yet. What? Maybe you guys are right. Is this a fake one? Fake Lego Rocks 99? It may be. Did you see Bergen's OT goal? I did. It was very nice. Live bet the Red Wings right now, plus money. I'm not gonna. No, I don't think you should. I don't trust the Red Wings enough. It is a fake. Well, let's put this user in a timeout then. There we go. First person that's been timed out. Do you think Malkin or Letang will leave Pittsburgh after the season? I really don't. I think they're going to end up re-signing 2, 3, 4-year deal. Something like that. I can't see them leaving. I really can't. Unless it's like them asking to leave and then they'll give Pittsburgh an opportunity to trade them. But I can't see them just leaving for nothing in free agency. I think if they do leave, Pittsburgh would get something back. Live bet the Wings. I wouldn't do it. I don't think they should do it. I don't think you should do it. Yes or no plus money. I'm going to say no. 131 people. Damn, that's quite a lot. Also, you're new to the channel. Nice to see you. Happy you decided to come hang out and hopefully subscribe if you are. Raymond with a nice setup. Yeah, it was. Messingo had a good chance out front. It looks like Detroit's going with the third line now. Man, Zadina needs a goal. I don't even know how long it's been since he scored, but it has to be pushing like 20 games. It's not good. McKinnon was snubbed from the All-Star game? No, he's the captain, actually, of the Central Division, isn't he? Is Nashville making the playoffs? I mean, I feel like they'd have to have a pretty terrible run from like now till the end of the season or through the next couple of months if they're going to miss, because I think they're still in first place in the Central, although Colorado has a good amount of games in hand. I think Nashville makes it. Timeline for McDavid trade request if losing continues? I'll say if like next year they have another like down year and then his no trade clause kicks in so he can kind of choose where he wants to go, then I think there's a possibility you could see that happen. Fiala seems to be really enjoying having another talented player in his line. Boldy and Fiala have been dynamite together. That's good. Fiala's had a good year, like, analytically, but the finish just isn't there like it was in his, first couple seasons in Minnesota, his first half season, and then last season, of course. Why do you think Kucherov didn't make the All-Star game? Probably just because he missed, a good chunk of the season with injury. Who am I voting as the last man in? Well, obviously, you know who I'm going with for the Atlantic Division. I went with Raymond. And then Kadri and then Terry. And I forget who I picked for the Metro, honestly. I can't remember. Might have been Svechnikov, but I know I went with Raymond, Terry, and Kadri. We got a Red Wings power play here. Let's see if they can get something going. They had 2 power play goals last game against Buffalo. So the power play finally got back on track. Draw pass to Bertuzzi right off the shin pads. But Detroit has it set up. Let's see if they can get something going here. Raymond seems to be trying to force a pass cross ice a little bit here too much. You get a couple of those picked off already. Is this the live game? It is live right now. I can't quite tell if the game score I have up in the stream for you guys is updated. After this power play is over, I'll check. But I don't think it is. I wish I thought it should update by itself. I don't know why I have to go in and refresh it, but why our team is playing at 1? It's Martin Luther King Day in the United States, so holiday. Usually when that's the case, like Thanksgiving and stuff like that, there's early games on. What is going on there? All right, 30 seconds left on the power play. Second unit's out there. And really nothing doing on this power play so far at all. Another turnover there by Hronek. Back down the ice. Detroit just doesn't look like they're ready to go, which is often the case when it comes to like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. starts. So they've been able to get it set up a couple times on this power play, but then just can't really do anything after that. Do you think Sabres could win the Vezina this year? He's definitely going to be in the conversation if he keeps playing the way he is right now, and if Nashville makes the playoffs, especially because no one really expected them to. Obviously, Sabres' play would be the biggest reason why. So I think he could be in the conversation for sure. All right, I think it looks like I might have to make some mods here. Yeah, well, we're going to user in timeout. So 5:45 to go in the first. Shots are 4-3 Red Wings. Scores 1-0 for the Sabres. Yeah, let me go look at the game score. See. Okay, I guess it is relatively updated. Boldy is a point per game so far. Do you think he keeps it up? Also, isn't Fiala like -6 in expected goals? Just absolutely not having luck. Yeah. That's basically what it's been with Fiala. There's been no finish, and he's been extremely unlucky. And I do think Boldy can keep it up, especially if he keeps playing with players like Fiala. Like, he's not the type of guy you bring up to play on the 4th line. If you're going to bring him up, you should probably put him in a scoring role because that's where he thrives. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on that. I think they should keep Boldy up. Based off the way he's playing so far, I mean. I'd like to see Detroit get one here before this period ends. Cody Eakin, I honestly forgot he was in the NHL. How many years until Ovi retires? Well, he signed a 5-year deal. This was the first year of that 5-year deal, so I mean, I think he's going to play it out for sure, so you know, at least 4 more seasons after this one. Did you watch that crazy game between the Leafs and Blues on Saturday? I did, yes. Another blown lead for the Leafs, but they were able to win, so can't really complain. 2-on-1 here for the Wings. Suter to Fabry. Fabry fans on it. Yikes. That was like Detroit's highest quality chance of the game, and it wasn't even that high quality, so. Start bench cut, starting a franchise. Stamkos, Kadri, or Stevenson? All in their primes? Oh, all in their primes. Well, Stamkos, start 100%. And then bench Kadri, cut Stevenson. But, I mean, Stevenson's really, really good. He's underrated. But yeah, of the 3, if they're all in their primes, which I would consider Kadri's prime to be this season, same with Stevenson, but Stamkos' prime obviously was, like, more so back in the early 2010s. even though still this season Stamkos is playing very, very well. All right, so about 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first. This has been an extremely boring period. I'm glad I streamed this game because I would just be sitting there. Dylan Cousins and Zadina are looking like they're about to fight for a second. Yeah, what do they stop and play for? I think there's a penalty coming up of some sort. Yeah, I can't show the game because of copyright. The commentary isn't that good. Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to watch. I'm not trying to really commentate the game. I'm just kind of chatting with you guys while I watch, so. Nylander is one of the most offensively underrated in the league. I agree with you. You miss watching games on NBC. I miss Doc Emmerich's commentary for sure. I don't like the ESPN commentary teams in most cases. But when TNT does games, I think it's very entertaining. Do you think Seider will win a Norris in his career? I think there's a very good chance he does. I think there's definitely going to be numerous seasons where he's like in the conversation. Who do you think is most likely player to be traded? Well, I'll say Klingberg right now. I think something came out the other day where Dallas. I just had a bad stutter. Where Dallas really is like trying to, heat up those conversations and they're trying to make a play to move him. So I'll say John Klingberg right now is probably the most likely player we see traded in the near future. Penalty for Detroit? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. They blew the play down because there was something going on. But then it went to commercial break, so we'll know when the game comes back. Detroit's power play is so bad. It definitely is. It's very, very bad. Alright, so it looks like they're coming back. I want to know what the call was, because they just blew it down kind of in the middle of the play. Is that Zadina going to the box? I just seen a Red Wing go to the box. I think they might have called offsetting minors. Well, Zadina knocked down Asplund. Cousins came across, checked Zadina in the back. So I think Cousins is probably getting one. And then... What? I have no clue what they're calling right now. Let's see. So, Zadina... Okay, so Veleno high-sticked Asplund. So he gets a penalty for that. And then I think Dylan Cousins got a cross-check. But the high stick by Veleno was formed, and it's because he cut Asplund, so it is... There was offsetting penalties, and then Detroit got the extra. So Buffalo's on the power play out of all that. The Sabres need a goalie. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of goalies in the system and in the organization, just not like a very good one. I mean, I still think Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen can be something, but I don't know when or if that'll even be the case. If there is a Battle of Florida rematch, who wins and what game amount? I'm going to go Florida this year. I really think they have a chance to go on a very deep playoff run. I would say Florida in, I'll say 7 games. I would love to see that happen again. That was probably one of the more entertaining playoff matchups. Even though it was a first-round matchup, like, I think I had the most fun watching that series more than like any other series in any round in the most recent playoffs. $59 seconds left in the power play. This period has been boring, to say the least. How much money do you think Jack Campbell will want for his next contract? Oh man, that's a tough one. You have to think like 5 mil plus. I mean, he's probably gonna be a Vezina nominee this year. I would say at least 5 million, yeah. Incoming trade offer: Detroit gets Turcotte, 2023 second rounder. Arvidsson, LA gets Raymond. I'm not taking that. No chance. Tampa has a reliable goalie. Florida doesn't. Simple. That is a really good point. I mean, Florida used 3 goaltenders in the playoffs last year, so that's a good point. And if Florida has to do that again this year, I mean, you don't have a Chris Drieger anymore. And obviously Spencer Knight has had a shaky rookie season, so yeah, that's a good point. The goaltending could definitely, like, if Bobrovsky doesn't play well, then Florida's basically screwed, I feel like. You'll say at least 6 or 7 million for Campbell. I mean, yeah, if he wins the Vezina especially, then he can basically ask for whatever he wants. That doesn't mean he's going to get it, but you have to think he's going to want a lot. Been a good power play by Buffalo. I wonder what it's like to have a team with a good power play. Or it does kill it off, though, but Buffalo's still kind of cycling around. Back at full strength. 50 seconds to go in the first here. Why is this game on so early? It's because it's Martin Luther King Day in the United States, so holiday, there's usually some early games on. There's games on all day, which is nice. There's always going to be something to watch. Don't pay goalies. I mean, yeah, goaltending in the NHL is just, you really, really never know. Unless it's like, can't miss, like Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, those guys. But, I mean, yeah, goaltending is just so random. I mean, look at LA the past, like, 3 years. The past 2 seasons before this one, Jonathan Quick was completely awful, and Cal Peterson was kind of their better goalie. And now this year, Peterson just couldn't stop a puck, and now Jonathan Quick seems to be back like prime Jonathan Quick. It's just so funny how that works. Goaltending is just, you can't predict it in the NHL. So that does it for the first period. 1-0 Sabres. Shots are 7-4 for the Sabres. Not really a whole lot going on. I don't know the expected goals of that first period, but it has to be pretty low. Best prospect in the league in your eyes, so someone that's not in the NHL. I think Owen Power has to be up there with how he's played in the NCAA, how he looked in the World Juniors. Quentin Byfield, I think, has to still be in the conversation, even though he had the injury. I would say those two, just off the top of my head. You think Detroit can turn this around? I definitely think they can in this game, yes. Could Boston miss the playoffs? I really don't think they're going to, because that would mean someone behind them has to catch them. And, I mean, Detroit's the closest to them, but they're still really not that close. Only play elite money to truly elite goaltenders. No goalie that isn't a legit perennial Vezina candidate should ever make more than $5 million a year. I mean, I can see why you say that. Now we have to sit through the intermission, but if I remember, I feel like the intermissions in the first stream went by very fast because, you know, I kind of just sat here and answered questions. Sorry if you hear my chair squeaking, it's very loud. Wild vs. Rangers Stanley Cup Final. Who wins and what game amount? I'll say Rangers in 6. I like Shesterkin a lot. I think if they get to the playoffs, that's the type of goaltender that could really go on a run. I wish I could figure out how to, like... I mean, I think I probably could. I was going to say, maybe we could do, like, an NHL quiz, but... I'll have to try to set that up, like, off-stream. I don't want to do it mid-stream, because then... I could probably screw something up. Bertuzzi for Turcotte and a second-round pick. Would you do that? Yeah. I think so. I don't think the Kings would do it, though. Especially with Bertuzzi, you know, not having the, you know, can't play in Canada, right? So, his value is probably a lot lower than it normally would be. With that being the case, I mean, imagine if you're... Like, imagine if you have to play a Canadian team in the first round after you trade for a guy like Bertuzzi at the deadline, and then Bertuzzi just can't play like half of that series. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of risk involved when trading for Bertuzzi from a playoff team, at least. What do you think about Avalanche versus Wild today? It should be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to go look at the slate of games. I know it's up on the screen for you guys, but can't really see it that well. Has Larkin proven himself as a first-line C? I think yes, but I don't know if he's good enough to be like the first-line center on a Stanley Cup winning team. I feel like Detroit needs another really good center that's like almost as good or like a similar level to a Larkin. The Wild and Avalanche is on at 4. Nice. Then we have the Tank Bowl, Montreal and Arizona. Kings, Sharks, Kraken, Hawks. Some good games on today. Wild and Avalanche especially. Do a live quiz. Yeah, next stream I'll have that set up. I don't know if I'd be able to set that up right now because I don't want to like screw up everything. Do you think Bedard and Michkov will become the next Crosby and Ovi? I think it'll be the closest thing to that since Crosby and Ovi. Is Nashville a cup contender? I don't know if I view them as a cup contender. But they've been a really nice story this year. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, so. As a Habs fan, you want Arizona to win? I mean, yeah. The season's kind of a wash at this point for both of those teams, so. Is there a chance that McDavid goes down as the best player never to win a cup? 100%, yeah, if he stays in Edmonton, especially, and if Edmonton continues to be ran the way that they're being ran right now. Are the Red Wings due to win a lottery? You would think so, but I mean, now they're likely going to finish as like, you know, like the 9 seed or 10 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're really probably going to get like the 12th or 13th overall pick or something like that. Just got here, but WTF is this dump and chase against Buffalo. Dump and chase. I mean, Detroit loves their dump and chase. That's kind of the way they play. Which sucks, but they love the dump and chase. Kind of the system they play, no matter what team they're playing against. Does Lundell have a legitimate chance to win the Calder? I think he does, definitely. Especially if he keeps producing as well as he's offensively. His defensive game is already very good. He just doesn't get the opportunity to play like first line minutes like Raymond and Zegras and the other guys, obviously, because Florida is a very good team, but I think he has a chance to get in the conversation for sure. Well, on the Red Wings broadcast here, Trevor Thompson, who's like one of the reporters, is on an outdoor rink right now. This is interesting, with just a random family, I think. I heard them mention something about that last game, actually. I wish I had an outdoor rink. Are the Panthers a true cup contender? Yeah, I think they are, definitely. Have the Rangers named a captain? No, they've just named like 20 alternate captains. You think Connor Geekie will be a sleeper pick of the draft? Is that Morgan Geekie's little brother? Not a very popular last name, so I feel like they kind of have to be related. What are your thoughts on the NHL teams putting ads on their jerseys next season? I personally hate it, and the NHL is only doing it for the money. I kind of forgot about that, actually. I don't mind it if it's just going to be, like, very small. We already seen... what's it called? We already seen Washington's and what their ad's going to look like, and it's really small. I feel like you can't even notice it. So I feel like, honestly, there's going to be people mad about it, but in most cases, you're probably not even going to, like, remember that it's there. I think huge hot take. I think Breadman gets the C. I don't know if they're going to name a captain. I feel like this would have been the season to do it, or the start of the season. I don't know why they didn't name a captain. Very strange. They just gave, like, half the roster A's and said, yeah, that's what we're going to do. They're doing the soccer thing, putting ads on the jersey. It's not that bad. It's really not. Just go on Google and search up Washington Capitals jersey ad, because the Capitals already show what theirs is going to look like, and it's really not bad at all. If they're not in the retail, I'm fine with it. They probably won't be. You'll actually probably have the option to buy it with or without, so that's my guess. Your prediction, the Panthers will win the President's Trophy. That's a good prediction. 112 viewers. Only 82 likes, though. Let's get some more likes. Let's try to hit 100 likes. If you're in here and you haven't liked it yet, leave a like. If we can get to 100, maybe we'll get more in the favor of YouTube's algorithm. You think they give it to Kreider? I could see that, yeah. Where are the ads? The Capitals one is just like basically the opposite side of the chest where like the C or A would be. It's just on the opposite side. Do you think the Montreal Canadiens will get Shane Wright? There's a very good chance they do. I mean, obviously finishing last place doesn't guarantee you the first overall pick. As a Red Wings fan, I know all about that, but I mean, it would give them the best odds in the league, so the ads will be awful. It will just be the start, and they'll go too far. If it's just like the one ad on the shoulder or on the chest, I mean, I won't care. But if they do try to like take it up a notch and go too far, then that's where I'd be upset with it too. But I really don't think they're going to. There we go, 104 likes. That was fast. Is Cirelli a dark horse for the Selke, and can he win it? He's a very good defensive centerman. I don't know if he's... it's just what the likes of like Bergeron and what he's doing this year, even Joel Eriksson Ek and his emergence, like the Selke's probably not an easy trophy to win, especially for somebody who's not named Patrice Bergeron, who honestly might win it again this year. The problem is it can escalate quickly. Yeah, that's a good point. If there's not a lot of people complaining about just the one on the chest, then I could see them, yeah. Maybe they can, oh, well, maybe we can add another one here. But I just can't see them doing it. I really hope they don't. I'm feeling a low odds team jumping to pick number 1. Hopefully it's the Red Wings. But I think you can only, like with the new rules, what's the minimum or the maximum amount of spots you can jump up? Because say you have, like you're supposed to get, or you have the odds to get like the 14th overall pick. I don't think you can jump up to first, right? I think there's only like a certain amount of spots you can jump up in the draft lottery now. You think some ads will be on the shoulder? Yeah, every team might do it differently, but Washington's was just on one of the sides of the chest of the jersey. Not if Gary Bettman has anything to say about that. Yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. That's all I'll say on that, honestly. 10 spots it is? Yeah, so if you have like 14th best odds, you obviously can't win the lottery. And I feel like Detroit's going to be in that range where even if they do jump up 10 spots, they're not going to get first overall. 7-5 shots on glove to first seems exciting. Yeah, that was an extremely boring period of hockey. I'm glad I decided to stream, because if I was just sitting there watching it, not answering questions, it would have been even more boring. Here's some fun. Would you accept a horrible amount of ads, 5 to 10, on jerseys if it meant the cap would move up significantly? No. I'm not someone who thinks like the salary cap should go away. I like the salary cap. I like the parity in the NHL. I know it causes teams, you know, that even built from the ground up, like Tampa Bay and stuff, to like have to move players out, but it keeps things interesting, I feel like. The cap is still going to go up, I feel like, no matter what. It's just not going to go up astronomically, but over the next like 5 to 10 years, I think we could probably see it go up a good amount. Okay, I can't read today. When were you the most mad when watching a game? Probably last year. No. Probably during the 1920 season, when everything just seemed so hopeless. I would trick myself into getting excited for the Red Wings game, and then they just... I mean, that season was bad. Like, Valtteri Filppula was the second-line center. Abdulkader was still playing, Jimmy Howard, and they were all so awful. I would say it had to just be, I don't know, pick a game from the 1920 season, and I was probably pretty upset when watching it. Unless it was one of the games against Montreal where Detroit swept them that year, which was so weird. How many points does Tage Thompson get at the end of the season? Probably around 40. I could see shorts getting ads, but I don't know if companies want on pants, not the sweaters. Yeah, well, we already see them on helmets, which I already forgot about. Like, you can't even notice the helmet ads when you're watching. I remember people were upset about that too, but I mean, I've already completely forgot about it. So I feel like that's kind of what's going to end up happening with like the jersey ad. Filppula is underrated, maybe in his prime, but I definitely don't think he was the past couple seasons. Yeah, shots were 6-5, it says now, so they actually took a shot away from Buffalo. Attempts 10-9, chances are 3-1. What a boring period. Man, hopefully the second period is more exciting. I mean, I guess it's to be expected it to be a boring period from both teams because early start. It's obviously different, but hopefully the teams are used to it now. They get their legs under them and we can have an exciting second period. Filppula Isles legend. I always forget that he played for like Tampa Bay and Philadelphia too. You don't care about helmets? Yeah, I really don't either. Who do the Red Wings give up at the deadline, if anyone? Nick Leddy, Nemesnikov, those guys, but I feel like the Red Wings should only trade them if they get like at least a second round pick. I don't want to see them trade them just this for the sake of trading them. Yep, Flyers and Bolts legend Valtteri Filppula. Does Stamkos deserve to be an all-star this year? Yes, he does. Do you think Dahlin is having a great season? I wouldn't say great, but better than last year for sure. He probably can't wait for Owen Power to get there. Kanye West is also a Red Wings fan. Yeah, I've seen a picture of him with a Red Wings jersey on. Anton Lundell should win the Calder. Raymond Zegras and Sider are flashy. Lundell plays on PK with his advanced stats. He should win the Calder. I wouldn't say Sider's flashy per se, but I can see what you mean. He definitely should be in the conversation, and I think if he continues to put up the numbers offensively like he's been doing, like he had 2 goals last game against Columbus, I think. He definitely could get in the conversation. Weirdest hockey fact you know? I can't think of one off the top of my head. Biggest snub on the All-Star team? Definitely Nazem Kadri. Even though I think he'll get in like the last minute type of deal. He should have, you can honestly make a case he should have been captain of the Central. Like, that's how good he has been this year. Who do I have in the Super Bowl? I honestly have no idea. I'm not a big football guy. I don't even know who's left. I don't even really know who won. I know the Cowboys lost because I've seen that all over Twitter. I guess they're like the Maple Leafs of the NHL, which is pretty funny. Second team after Detroit? Probably a Canadian team. I like to see Canadian teams do well, which they don't usually do well, especially in the playoffs, but I don't know if I really have like a true second favorite team, but you know, I just like to see Canadian teams do well, I guess. Bergeron has been a beast at Grand Rapids. Do you think he gets a trial this season? I think he'll get his 9 games in this season for sure. Brad Marchand was the biggest snub? Yeah, he was definitely a pretty big snub. Like Troy Terry, Brad Marchand, Kadri, those guys. I mean, I get the one from every team thing, but like, you can't tell me Nick Suzuki, Jordan Eberle, and Adrian Kempe should be all-stars over Brad Marchand, Nazem Kadri, and like Troy Terry, and I just don't like it. I think the best of the best should be there. Alright, I think the second period should be getting going here. Hopefully it's more interesting than the first. Who is the most non-deserving player to make the All-Star team? Suzuki or Eberle, I'll say. And it's nothing against like Suzuki, for an example. Like, I'm sure he's going to have seasons in his career where he does deserve to be an All-Star. This year's just not one of them. You don't understand Suzuki being in the All-Stars? Yeah. Robert Thomas should be there too. Yeah, you can make a case for him for sure. Him and Jordan Kyrou have been really fun to watch. Thoughts on Rem Pitlick getting waived and then claimed by Montreal? As soon as I saw him get waived, I knew he was gonna get claimed. I think that all just came down to like them liking Matthew Boldy a lot and feeling like it was his time, and they kind of just like ran out of room in their lineup, right? Like you can only have so many guys. Even though Rem Pitlick was producing at a pretty decent rate when he was playing, they had to make room. So I like the claim from Montreal. Is Marco Rossi going to be better than Boldy? It's hard to say. I'll go ahead and say yes, just because I really like Rossi, but I feel like it could go either way. How long does it take you to make a thumbnail? It kind of depends on the thumbnail. Like the one for this video, for an example, or this stream, took probably like 20 minutes. But if it's one with like 3 players in it, like a one from every team thumbnail, those take a little bit longer. So I would say anywhere between like 15 to 30 minutes. All right, so the second period's underway. Nice defensive play there by Nemesnikov. Come on, Detroit. Make this interesting for us. Are you watching it on TV? I actually have the stream pulled up on my computer. So, it's just easier that way. That way I don't have to, like, look one way at the TV and then look back at the chat. I have it, like, next to the chat, so. Uh-oh. Sider almost just had a rookie mistake there. Raymond's success this season, 1 to 5. I would say it's been a 5, honestly. I didn't even think he was going to make the team. So the fact he's, you know, up for the last minute in the All-Star game, probably the Calder favorite at this point, even though it's kind of up in the air. Like, I'm very happy with the way Raymond's played. Should the NHL go back to the draft for the All-Star game? I think they should for sure. I mean, I remember back when that happened, I would like watch the draft, but I wouldn't even watch the All-Star game. Like I thought the draft was more entertaining than the game itself. So I'd love to see them go back to that. Especially where they had the person that was drafted last would win a car. And then you had that storyline to follow. I remember when Phil Kessel wanted Ovechkin, was upset because he wanted to win it. So I'd like to see them go back to that. Oh. Wow, what a save. Who's even in? Aaron Dell. What a save by Dell there on Suter. Did the Sabres win already? They didn't win, no. It's 1-0 for the Sabres, though. Yeah, when Ovi wanted to get picked last for the cars. Or for the car. I liked that. I thought it was entertaining. They should go back to that. Good pressure here by Detroit, but most of it's to the outside. Who's the next captain for the Bolts? Your pick is Braden Point. That's a good pick. I mean, I still think Stamkos is going to be there for probably a long time, so I don't think it'll come anytime soon, but when the time does come, Braden Point's a good pick. Brad Lambert will be Red Wing next season. I wouldn't mind that. I still don't know a whole lot about like the upcoming draft class. I haven't really started researching it a ton, but I know Brad Lambert. I thought he looked really good in the small sample size from the World Juniors. Real good skater. I know he plays the center position, which is a position of need for Detroit, so I wouldn't mind it at all. The NHL should bring back the shootout challenge for the skills competition. Most fun thing to watch. Honestly, don't even really know like what are the events right now. Like I don't think I've watched the NHL All-Star Game or the skills competition in a while. Intermission right now? No. The second period started. Should the skills comp be independent from the All-Star game like NBA, where we get best of best for each of the competition? I wish they did their set it up a lot more like the NBA did. I watched the NBA like skills competition, dunk contest, and NBA All-Star game, but I just have a real hard time getting invested in the NHL for some reason. I mean, I like that they went to 3-on-3, but how did you come up with the name O Nyquist? Well, when I made the channel, like, Nyquist was one of the more exciting younger players on the Red Wings, so I don't know what the O came from, but honestly can't remember. Also on DeMerkit being All-Star, he deserves it, and do you think he could score 50 goals? I mean, he's already had a 40-goal season. He has the finishing ability, and he plays with good enough playmakers as to where I think he could have a 50-goal season if everything goes right for him. Who's in net for Buffalo? It's Aaron Dell. Tage Thompson just was left alone in the slot. That's probably not the guy in Buffalo you want to leave alone there. Skinner, Tuck, and Thompson. That's like a decent line for Buffalo. It's nice to see Alex Tuck playing again. But 50 minutes to go here in the second. This period I feel like has already been more entertaining than the first, which is good. Any idea on the Calder race rankings? I'd assume Raymond, Zegras, Sider for top 3. I feel like, yeah, that's the top 3 right now. I don't know about the order of the 3, though. Like, if the season ended today, I honestly don't know who would win the Calder. Should the Flyers trade Giroux? If they get the feeling that he's going to leave as a free agent anyway, I think they should, yeah. At least get something in return. How did you feel when the Red Wings traded away Nyquist? I think I made a video on it on the channel. It's one of my earlier videos, which means the video probably sucked, but I wasn't upset about it because it's something like I seen coming. I forget what the return was. I think it was like a second and a third or something, but I remember that, like, the first half of that season in which he got traded, he was like close to a point a game for Detroit, so I was kind of expecting them to get a first-round pick for him, but they only got like a second. So I wasn't upset with the fact he was traded because I figured it was going to happen, but I wish they would have got more, I guess. Was he really worth a first-round pick? Like, looking at it in hindsight, no. What's the score, please? It's 1-0 Buffalo. 1-0 Sabres. Philly should blow it up, in my opinion. Their prospect pool is depleted. Yeah, I feel like they could definitely use a retooling. A lot of old players on that roster. Brinket is really good. He's fun to watch, too. Nice play there by Dolan through his own legs. Come on, Detroit. Make this interesting for me. Don't get shut out to the Sabres on an early Monday game. I couldn't think of anything worse. I think your name came from, oh, Nyquist, what a goal. Maybe. Is Pius Suter a top-line contender? No. I think, honestly, on like a contending team, he would more so be suited as like a third-line center, but on Detroit, obviously, has to play second-line center because Detroit just doesn't have a lot of depth at the position, but I know you made a video on this, but man, what is wrong with Edmonton? I feel like it'd be easier to say what isn't wrong with Edmonton right now than what is. And what isn't wrong with them is, well, they have two of the best players in the world, but they can't get a save when they need one. And they don't make life on their goaltenders easy either because their defense just isn't good. So, yeah. I don't really know what they're going to do. That game on Saturday against Ottawa, like, you have to win that game. You absolutely have to. They choked that one away bad. Ain't worth that now. It was at the time, though. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like, sometimes I even forget Nyquist is still in the league. Maybe change your name to O-Sider. Yeah, I probably won't change my name ever, but weird origin story, that's for sure, because obviously Nyquist isn't like a household name unless you're like a diehard NHL fan, then obviously you know him, and if you're a Red Wings fan, you probably do. Come on, Detroit, do something here. Top line out there against Olofsson line, it looks like. Give me a Raymond or Seider goal. Let's go. Come on. Shots are now 12-10 Sabres. Still 1-0. About 11:45 to go in the second here. Well, it's 2-0. Who is that? Is that Tucker Dolan? Looks like Alex Tuck scored that one. But looks like Detroit might challenge for offside, though. Wings got 2 seconds for Nyquist. Oh yeah, that's offside. That goal is gonna come back. That goal is gonna come back for sure. Way offside. Nice finish by Alex Tuck, but yeah, he's offside there. That one's coming back. Hope it's not too risky to have Bertuzzi, Raymond, or Bertuzzi, Fabry, Seider, and Nedeljkovic in your pool. 4 players from the same team might be a little bit risky, but I don't know if I'd have Fabry. I feel like there's probably a better player than Fabry in free agency in your fantasy pool, depending on how many teams you have. Yeah, that goal's coming back. He was way offside. Could Evander Kane be something for the Red Wings? I hope not. It's probably not worth the headache. Yeah, that's way offside. Don't put anything past the NHL refs? Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like there's no way they can say this is onside. Yeah, offside. No goal. That was about as obvious as you can get. Gusev Nyquist trade. Detroit gets 2019 second rounder. Okay, so that's who we drafted Robert Mastrosimone with. And then the 2023 was Emil Viro. Okay. And the Sharks didn't even re-sign Nyquist either, so I guess a second and a third you give up for a player to only have for like the end of the season and a playoff run is a good bit, so. Alright, hopefully Detroit can respond now after catching a break there. $11:30 to go in the second. 13-10 shots for Buffalo. Jeff Skinner with the puck. Jeff Skinner's a good player. He just gets a lot of hate because he makes too much money. Mastrosimone had a nasty goal recently. I don't think I've seen it. I did see that there was a Red Wings prospect who pulled off the Trevor Zegras flip from behind the net, and it actually worked. Can't remember who it was, but I think it was in the OHL, maybe? Is Bertuzzi going to maintain a point a game this year? I have him on my fantasy team, and I'm very happy with his production. Yeah, if he sticks in the top 6, sticks on the top power play, I think he will. He's not like the most flashy player. I mean, even though he has had a couple highlight reel goals this season, but he just always like finds the quiet areas where no one's at, out front of the net, and the puck just seems to find him. If the Sharks would have re-signed Nyquist, the 2023 round would have became a second rounder. Okay. You're rooting for blowing up the Flyers roster. It's absolutely miserable. It was Cross Annas, yeah. That's who it was. Who's better, Matthews or McKinnon? I like, I'll say McKinnon, but like very, very close. Like playoff McKinnon from the bubble was just on another level. Hey man, love the vids. Would love to see a deal or no deal with the trade deadline quickly approaching, especially as an Oilers fan. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a while. That's something I can definitely do in the next couple of weeks for sure. Is Detroit winning? No, it's 1-0 Buffalo. You think Cross-Handers will be a steal? I hope so. Detroit doesn't really have the greatest track record with North American drafting. Most of Detroit's hits in the draft are European skaters because that's where, I feel like their North American scouts just aren't as good as the European scouts. How much would the Flyers even get for Hart if they're going to trade Hart? Honestly, don't know. That's one of those players where I feel like their value would kind of be up in the air. I don't think they ever trade Carter Hart, though. Not yet, anyways. Has Bertuzzi got his vaccine? No, I believe he's actually the only player in the league without it. So that obviously sucks for his trade value. Yeah, so that goal by Yoki Haru, it did go in offsider. That sucks. Who is the biggest name at NHL trade deadline March 2021? Wait. March 2022? Are you talking about last year's deadline? Or the upcoming deadline? The biggest names, I feel like Jacob Chychrun will be out there. If Klingberg isn't traded before then I think obviously him. Can't really think though off the top of my head. Who are some other guys? Basically just like UFAs, pending UFAs. Jake DeBrusk still hasn't got traded actually. What's going on, Bolt? What guy would you rather have in Detroit? Cole Caulfield or Nick Robertson? I'll take Cole Caulfield. Shots are 14-10 Sabres. Still 1-0. Detroit hasn't got a shot on goal in a while. Hart is having a good season. He is, yeah. He's definitely not the problem this year. You know, you can make the argument that goaltending was part of the reason the Flyers didn't make the playoffs last year, but it's definitely not a problem this year for them. More so just the defense. Getting Ryan Ellis back should definitely help, but it looks like it might be a little too late. Is it possible to get Klingberg to Detroit? I don't really think it makes sense. Just with Klingberg's age. Alright. Shots are 14-11. I was hoping this would be like... I can't clear my throat. I was hoping this would be like an exciting game, but... it's not looking like it. Alright. Looks like Detroit is kind of a 4-on-2 developing here, but it's the third line, so it ended in nothing. Who would have thought? Stamkos should be last man in for the Atlantic. Yeah. I think he probably deserves it. I just voted for Raymond because, I mean, you know, bias and everything. Have there been any updates on the Verona timeline? Not that I know. I did see a video of him skating, but he wasn't shooting yet, which makes sense, obviously, because he had shoulder surgery, but he's skating, so that's good at least. Should be like in the next month and a half, I think. He can't come back soon enough, though. I really feel like he's going to give Detroit a completely different look in the top 6. Especially if he's, like, anywhere close to the level he was at, you know, at the end of last season, after the trade. What is the score of the Buffalo versus Detroit game? It is 1-0 Sabres. Mike Hoffman is looking like he's gonna get traded soon. Yeah, I mean, Montreal's probably gonna look to offload a lot of guys. Ben Sherratt will probably be one of the names we hear a lot about at the deadline or around the deadline. Will Phil the Thrill get traded at the deadline at 50% retained? He's still at 3.4 mil. I think I could see a team taking him for 3.4 mil. What should be the asking price for McDavid if McDavid requests a trade? Honestly, I have no idea. Like, a McDavid trade and what it would look like, especially like if he's still in his prime, it would be like ridiculous. What happened to the second goal? It was offside. Coach's challenge. Jared Doherty? Or Doherty? Sorry if I said that wrong, but thank you for the $1 super chat. Nobody talks about how good Hughes has been compared to Kako this year. Jack Hughes has been elite this year. It's nice to see, especially after so many people wrote him off just after his rookie season. Yeah, 11 points, 11 games for Rana. And weren't like, how many of them were goals? Wasn't like 8 or 9 of them were goals. He had the 4-goal game, obviously. McDavid signed an 8-year contract here for a reason, guys, as well as Sherrod to the Oilers. Big in talks. He did sign that deal for a reason, but I mean, things have definitely changed since then. I'm sure he didn't think, they would have this little success. I don't know. A McDavid trade is just something that I feel like is always going to be talked about, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I mean, he could ask for it, but also Edmonton doesn't have to honor that either. They could just keep him for his whole contract, right? Do I speak French? No, I don't. At all. How much impact do you think Lidstrom will do for Detroit? It's probably not going to have an immediate impact that you're going to notice right away, but it's nice to just have him overseeing things. He's obviously really smart, so it'll just be nice to have him there, giving his input on. I think Steve Adams said everything is going to go through Lidstrom too. He's going to get Lidstrom's input on basically everything, drafting, trading. So I think honestly it can only help. I mean, I can't see it doing any harm, so. All right, I got to fix my chair. Whoever made the Oilers-Angels comparison earlier, you were spot on. My favorite team is the Avs. Cereal or milk first? Cereal. And then milk. 7 minutes to go in the second. Still really nothing going on at all. Yeah, I wish the NHL brought back the All-Star Game drafts too. I used to watch them and then actually not watch the All-Star Game. I was more invested in the drafts than the game itself. Man, Bertuzzi should have just had a tap in. Just went through his legs. Shots now 14-13 for the Sabres. The second line with Bertuzzi on, it's looking pretty good though. What's the score? It's 1-0 Sabres still. 6.5 to go in the second. Slow game? Very slow. Thoughts on the All-Star jerseys? I like them. They're simple. I like them a lot, actually, especially compared to the last couple All-Star jerseys. I like them a lot more than probably the last 3-4 years. Is the people who still compare Jack Hughes to Nugent Hopkins underrating Hughes? Yeah, probably a little bit. I think Jack Hughes is going to have a better career than Nugent Hopkins. I think Jack Hughes is going to be the main play driver, the main, point producer on that team for a very long time. And Nugent Hopkins is kind of better suited as a complementary player, while Jack Hughes, I feel like he's going to be the guy offensively for the Devils. Five and a half to go in the second. Still really nothing happening. It would be a lot more entertaining of a stream if this was just a gong show. The Detroit's first game of the season, the 7-6 game against Tampa Bay. Give me another one of those games. Do you like the one player from any team in the All-Stars? No, I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't think it should be that way. It makes sense as to why the NHL wants to do that. Obviously, they want to have every team represented, but my argument is you can still have every team represented. Just put some players in the skills competition, hardest shot, stuff like that. Because there's players that are in the skills competition, fastest skater, hardest shot that aren't actually all-stars. So, that's what I would do. Oh, come on, Detroit. Give me a Zadina goal. I actually want to find out how long it's been since he scored. I said earlier in the stream it has to be like pushing 20 games. Thoughts on the Bolt Stadium Series jersey? I can't really remember it off the top of my head. I think I liked it, though. I'll search it up on my phone. Tampa Bay Stadium Series jersey. Yeah, I liked it. Or I do like it. I couldn't think of it for some reason, but yeah, I think it looks clean. I wonder what the whole uniform is going to look like. I mean, they're definitely going with white gloves. If they don't go with white pants, which I don't think they will, I think it'll look really good. Are you Canadian? Yes. It's all for viewership? Yeah, that's a good point. I guess like Montreal fans are more likely to watch with Nick Suzuki in the All-Star game than without him. So yeah, again, you can see why from the NHL's point of view. I just don't like it personally. Mikheyev would dominate the speed challenge or at least compete if non-All-Stars won. I wish non-All-Stars would go. Like the NBA, you'll have people in the dunk contest, skills competition that aren't All-Stars, but they're still a part of All-Star Weekend. I wish the NHL would do that. Last Zadina goal was November 30th. Wait, really? November 30th, so he didn't score in the month of December, and we're already halfway through January, and he hasn't scored. Yikes. You're at work, good game so far? No, you're really not missing anything. It's a very slow and boring game. Nothing going on. Favorite Detroit player? Larkin, but Sider and Raymond are like right there. You know Tactics HD? Yes, I do. Thoughts on the Predators Smashville jersey? I don't think it's as bad as everyone said it was, but it's not good. I don't think it's good. You think Zadina will be traded sometime within the future? I mean, I could see it happening. He's not a Eisman draft pick. So I feel like there's a chance, but not anytime soon, really. I feel like they'd rather trade him when he's actually playing well because then his value would go up. I feel like his value is just way too low to trade right now. It just wouldn't make sense. I mean, maybe like a Vitaly Kravtsov for Zadina swap, something like that. $1.99 from Debony Boy Games, who says, Breadman or Kaner? I'll go with Panarin over Patrick Kane right now. But, yeah, I think, right now I'll go with Panarin. Will you live stream playoff games? I plan on it for sure, yeah. And it won't, even if Detroit doesn't make the playoffs, which they're not going to, I'll still stream playoff games of other teams. I plan on doing streams in the regular season of other games too. Like every game doesn't have to be Detroit. 3:45 to go in the second. Shots are 14-13. Is Detroit really going to get shut out by Aaron Dell on an afternoon game on a Monday? That is, it'd be very like Detroit to do that. Come on, get one before this period ends at least. Let's go into the intermission tied. Detroit passes up so many shots for a team that struggles to score. Some good pressure here by the Guelph Storm line, though. If you don't know what I mean by that, Robbie Fabry, Pius Suter, and Tyler Bertuzzi, they actually all played on the same line together when they were on the Guelph Storm. Hot Take Hockey, yeah, man. Trying it out. Probably not as entertaining as yours, though, because I don't have a face cam, but I just like answering questions and watching the game, especially games like this where there's nothing going on in the actual game. I do know Nasher. I've never spoke to him or had an interaction with him, but I watch his videos. I like his GoPro videos. I mean, did you guys see his hit that he laid? Got ejected from the game. He destroyed that guy. Dell hasn't played too bad the last few games. He's balling out some. Yeah, I mean, he's been very steady this game. He hasn't really been tested all that much, but, I mean, the shots that he is getting looks pretty good. Do you think Pedersen's slump is over? Love your content. Hopefully. I mean, he had 2 goals last game, right? I think 2 power play goals. So that should get him going a little bit. Detroit is now out shooting Buffalo, though, which it really doesn't feel like they are. How important for Detroit is it to win this game? If they're serious about making the playoffs, they probably have to win, especially considering Boston just doesn't lose anymore. But really, it's not like a must win because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs anyway. 2 minutes to go in the second. I'll probably take a bathroom break in the intermission. Kaprizov or Marner? This season, Kaprizov for sure. He's on another level. Will Butcher, I also forgot he was on Buffalo. I feel like there's been like no grade A chances in this game, except for obviously the goal, but it was off like kind of a weird shot from the point that went in off a Red Wings defenseman. What's the music you use? It's super calming and relaxing. Get the name of it just a sec. I'll give you the name after the period here. Honestly, forget what it is because I can't hear the music myself. I don't even know how to find the name. I'll find it somehow. 40 seconds to go in the second here. Man, there's like no one in the stands really either. $38 seconds. Are they going to a commercial break with 38 seconds? Okay, I thought they were. They're not. Who is playing better? I wouldn't even say one team is really like heavily outplaying the other. There's really just nothing going on. I hope Kaprizov's injury isn't too bad. I have him in fantasy. Yeah, from the Trent Frederick hit, right? I forgot about that. Is he still out from that? I didn't see like any... Oh my goodness, Jeff Skinner almost just ended Gustav Lindstrom's career. What kind of players will Detroit trade before the deadline? Lower profile or Bertuzzi? Like, again, I just can't see Bertuzzi getting traded because you're not going to get the value that you should for a player like him because he can't play in Canada. I think it'll be lower end, guys. Why isn't 91 in the rafters yet? It's got to happen. It definitely should. Even though it's not, though, no one's going to wear it. I feel like even though it's not in the rafters, it's technically retired because like no player is going to wear 91. The same goes for like Zetterberg's 40, Datsuk's 13. What a move from Skinner. Yeah, that would have been a nasty goal. Oh, a fight? Please, let them fight. Inject some life into this game. Okposo and Ernie, but doesn't look like they're going to let them go. This is absolutely the worst game I've seen. Then again, the West Coast was bad. Yeah. This is definitely not as bad as the Kings game. That whole West Coast trip stunk. But the Kings game especially was like, that was one of the worst games I've ever seen. That first period especially, like they didn't even look like an NHL team. You live within 3 hours of Buffalo, so it's blacked out and you can't watch it. Blackouts are so stupid. They just don't make any sense. What's going on? Did they give Ernie a penalty there? What even started this? I should have just let them fight. Yeah, I hope it's a scrappy third too. I just want to see anything. What's going on? Did they call a penalty? Adam Ernie with the slash, actually. You can't stay in the power play for the Wings. Just give them 5 for 5 for 2 minutes with the Sabres. Sticks turned upside down. I don't know what I would rather. Totally agree. Love that I found your channel again. I appreciate that. I want to watch the game on ESPN Plus. So it's a 4-on-4 actually. You could probably find a stream for the game. I mean, they're all over the place. But yeah, it's going to go to the second intermission, tied 1-1. Or 1-1. Thoughts are 15-15. It's been an even game, but just really nothing happening. So I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll put it in the chat, because last stream when I went to the bathroom, everyone was like, where'd you go? I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully we didn't lose too many viewers during that time. Still 96. You play Hut? I play Hut too. Occasionally. I feel like I get into it for like a week or so. And then I just don't play it. I feel like it just gets really boring really fast. This game has been awful so far. Of course, I picked the wrong game to stream. At least I don't have to watch it by myself now, though. Hope the Wings can boost their away record a little bit as of now. They're 4-11-2 away. Yeah, they've been a completely different team on home ice this year. And that's kind of where you can tell, like, they're still pretty far away from being, I feel like, a legit playoff contender because, I mean, playoff teams win on the road, right? And Detroit just hasn't been able to do that. That is so annoying, man. If you can't afford packs, you can't do anything. I wouldn't even say that. Like, I feel like if you really grind, you play rivals, you can get, you know, like, I have a pretty good team and I haven't spent any money on it this year, but it just does get so boring because there's just not a ton to do. First time joining a stream. What's going on, Jay Berge? Nice to have you. Boring game for sure. Thanks for sticking it out. Yeah. I mean, the last game on Saturday against Buffalo was pretty fun to watch. I mean, you got a Raymond goal, a shutout for Nedeljkovic. So I should have probably expected a not so exciting game today, but whatever. Who could have guessed Detroit versus Buffalo might be bad? Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Nikos, can you get in trouble for streaming NHL games? Just curious. I don't even really know how it works. I think I would get in trouble for streaming an actual broadcast of the game. Yes, I think. But like, say, like, if I put highlights of the NHL in a YouTube video, then they would just get the money from the video, or sometimes they'll, like, block it in a couple countries. It's kind of different. But if I showed, like, an actual broadcast of the actual game, then yeah, I'd probably get in trouble for that. Is the game over? No, it's in the second intermission. 1-0 Buffalo. Is there any other sports you watch besides hockey? Yeah, I watch basketball a lot. And I got into actually watching MLB a good bit in the most recent season, which I enjoyed. So I'll follow the MLB a good bit next season, if there is a season, because I think they're in a lockout right now. They're back on the outdoor rink in the intermission again. Also back to Hut. When you can't play that much, only way to get a good team is to buy packs. That's a good point. You do have to have a lot of free time if you want to get a good free-to-play team, because you have to play a ton. You just got here. I thought that's what you're doing. I wish I could. I really do. But basically, this is just like us hanging out, chatting while I'm watching the game. Gives me something to do because oftentimes, like this game, Detroit's games aren't the most fun thing to watch by yourself. What happened to your NBA channel? I just felt like it would have been better to put all my time in this channel. I just wasn't as passionate about it. They're doing a shootout on the backyard rink. This is more entertaining than the Red Wings game. I wish I could show this. Oh my goodness, the one-hander. A kid in a Heronic jersey just did the one-hander. Yeah, the outdoor rink. This is the highlight of the game. Is there a ranking of leagues somewhere? I started playing a game and I get job offers, but don't really know what is it. I don't know what you mean by that question. I'm sorry, I don't really understand it. This is cool, man. I hope you do this more. You're active in the chat. Yeah, I definitely plan on doing this more. We did one last week, or last weekend. It was fun, so my plan is like once a week right now, and then once the playoffs start, I'll probably do it a lot more. Maybe not every night for the playoffs, but a couple nights a week at least. Will you ever revive your gaming channel? Maybe even play different hockey games? Maybe that's something I could try to do, but I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I just get bored of games, and then if I'm bored of a game, I don't want to have to like force making videos on it, because I feel like my boredom would come through in the video and it wouldn't be entertaining. So, do you think the NHL should go back to the World Cup of Hockey? I prefer it to the Olympics. Your thoughts? I think they should have World Cup of Hockeys for sure. Then they're in control of everything. They don't have to worry about the double IHF, right? They choose where it's at. You know, it'd just be a lot easier, especially with everything going on. And the first World Cup of Hockey, I think, was a huge success. Fave game right now? I've been playing a lot of NBA recently. kind of like bored of every game right now, honestly. We play ESHL and NHL, me and my friends. I haven't been playing Hut really, but we play ESHL a lot still. Goal of the year? McDavid's goal against the Rangers, I would say. Tyler Mott, how about his goal the other night? Did you guys see that? The through the legs, like standing on the goal line, kind of coming from behind the net. That was pretty sweet. Do you think Jonathan Berggren will crack the lineup next year? If he doesn't, I might be a little bit concerned because, I mean, he was drafted in 2018, right? So, 22, 23 season, you kind of hope to see them kind of start to crack the roster. But I think with the way he's producing in Grand Rapids this year, I think there's a good chance we do see him crack the lineup next year. Because I think we'll see him get his 9 games this year anyways. When did you start doing watch-alongs? Like last week. The first one was the Ducks versus Red Wings game last weekend. What team is the most panicked right now besides the Oilers? The most panicked besides the Oilers. I don't know. I mean, the most panicked in the league would definitely be the Oilers, but aside from them, I don't really know what team's like panicking really right now, because it would have been Vancouver before they made the coaching change, but obviously they've turned it around since then. I don't know. What do you guys think? Which team do you think is like panicking the most right now outside of the Edmonton Oilers? I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Not Zegras for goal of the year. I'm angry. Actually, yeah. I kind of forget about that one. That's up there. I mean, the fact that Sonny Milano actually batted it in out of midair. Yeah, and the Tyler Malko, yeah, it was on Vasilevsky, too. What do you think Zdenia's price will be at the trade deadline if he doesn't produce like he is now? Do you mean like if he's producing, what would it be? If he's producing like he is now? Like I don't know, a second round pick, maybe? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Edvinsson would be crazy to watch next year, but I think I'm getting way too ahead of the rebuild. I don't think you are with Edvinsson. I think there's a really good chance he actually does make the team next season. Islanders? Yeah, that's a good one. Flames, maybe. Yeah, the Flames have been sliding a little bit, but I don't know if they're quite like full-on panic mode yet. The Makar goal was insane, too. Kirby Dach got... Man. That spinorama. That was insane. Kirby Dach was lost. Islanders rode on the road for 13 games and have been injury-riddled. Yeah, this season's kind of just been a wash for them, and it was kind of like they were set up for failure right from the get-go, which sucks, but it is what it is. They should be... I think they'll be fine like next season. I think they'll be right back into being like a playoff contender. Makar goal was disgusting, but not as gross as McDavid's goal. Yeah, I would say McDavid's goal against the Rangers, the Zegras goal. I really did like the Tyler Mott goal, especially since it was Tyler Mott of all people scoring on Vasilevsky of all goalies. Like, it was weird. What do the Blackhawks do this offseason? Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, they made a lot of moves this most recent offseason that really haven't paid off. They gave up all those futures for Seth Jones. They're in a really weird spot, the Blackhawks are. Just because of the age of the most of the guys on their roster. Like, obviously, you still have Kirby Dach, Alex DeBrincat, but now you no longer have Adam Boqvist. I don't know, like, yeah, again, they're just in a really weird spot. I'm interested to see what they do for sure, but I can't really think of anything that I think they should do or what they're going to do. What's the score, please? It's still 1-0 Buffalo. Do I not have it up on the screen, actually? It actually... Oh, yeah, I have to keep it down here, because in the intermission, they play, like, video on this little screen, so I have to scroll down so that it doesn't get taken down by the NHL. You watch the Bar Down Crew? Occasionally, yeah, I see their videos on, like, Instagram and stuff. Thank you so much for responding, of course. Maybe Habs. I think Montreal is past panic mode. I think they're just like, get this season over with already. Will Marc-Andre Fleury retire after this season? I could see it happening, honestly. I mean, he considered retiring before this season, right? I hope he doesn't, because I still think he has a good bit left in the tank, and he's somebody I feel like the league's just better off with Fleury in it. Losing Boqvist is an L? I agree. Do you think the Hawks can make a playoff push? They're not completely out of it, but I don't think it's realistic to say that they're going to get in. Maybe they can make things interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen. Fred VanVleet for All-Star? 1,000%. Who would you say is the worst defense in the NHL? Detroit's got to be up there. The Flyers. The Oilers. You gonna live stream the Avalanche Wild game after this? Probably not. We'll see how this third period goes. We'll see like how my voice is feeling, but probably not. You think Kadri should be an All-Star? He should for sure be an All-Star. The only players with a better points per game than Kadri this year are McDavid and Draisaitl. What's going on, Windy City Hockey? Thoughts on Seider winning the Calder? I mean, I would love it, obviously. I think he has a very good chance to win the Calder, too. His offense has cooled down, but, I mean, he's still, like, plays the most minutes, basically game in, game out on Detroit. Runs the top power play unit, even though, I mean, the top power play unit sucks, but both power play units suck, honestly. Worst signing since in the past 3 seasons? Jeff Skinner's contract, probably. I'm doing good today. How are you, Windy City Hockey? Totally agree with you there. My Flyers have been abysmal on the defensive side. Yeah, I feel like it's evident because, like, they're getting better goaltending this year, and they're still having the type of season that they're having. A lot of it's because their defense is just not good, and a lot of the forwards on the team don't seem to be very engaged defensively either. Like, Sean Couturier has notoriously been one of the best two-way centermen in the league throughout his career. He just doesn't even he doesn't seem as engaged on the defensive end either, so that team's just not clicking. Can the Oilers still win with Tippett, or has he lost the room? I don't really think he's lost the room. Like, I just think it's more of like a personnel thing. Like, they just don't have a good enough team, especially defensively, and their goaltending situation is so up in the air. Raymond or Lafreniere? I'll take Raymond. I mean, I still think Lafreniere is going to have an amazing career, but I'm very happy with Raymond. Kenny Holland screwed over the Oilers. Tell me I'm wrong. Can't say that you're wrong. Definitely made a lot of questionable decisions. Who's Detroit's top 3 prospects who haven't played an NHL game yet? Edvinsson, Berggren, Kosa, I think. Yeah. So Edvinsson and Kosa, first round picks from the most recent draft. And then Berggren was a second rounder in 2018, I believe. So I'll say those 3. What is the worst trade of the past 3 seasons? What's a trade where a team just got completely f***ed? I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'd have to think long and hard about that one, I feel like. If one pops in my mind, then I'll say it. But yeah, I just can't think of one off the top of my head. But the third period is starting. Hopefully Detroit can make this game a little interesting. So happy watching your grocery store. I've been watching since 2018. I appreciate that. My videos, I will admit, were not good back then, so thanks for sticking around. Who would you rather have in your team, Draisaitl or Matthews? I'll take Matthews. I did not watch the Cowboys 49ers game. I don't really watch football at all. What's your take on Dak spiking the ball with 0 seconds left? Is that what happened? Because I've seen everyone freaking out on Twitter, but I didn't really understand it. Didn't know why, because I wasn't watching the game. But one of the best comparisons I've seen was the Cowboys are the Leafs of the NFL. So I guess that kind of tells me everything I need to know. Is Rasmussen a bust? It depends on how you look at it. I think he's a useful player, but he's not worth the 9th overall pick. So That's what I'll say on that. The Nedeljkovic trade was... That's a good point. But then you look at it for, like, Carolina. They replaced him with Freddie Anderson, who's been one of the better goalies in the league this year, so... So we got 4-4 to start this period. It looks like Detroit's starting with Suter, Bertuzzi, Sider, and DeKaiser. 4-4 for about a minute and 40 seconds. Who's your NBA Rookie of the Year? Probably Evan Mobley. I want Scotty Barnes to win it, but I think it'll be Mobley. All right, let's see if Detroit can do something on this 4-4. Don't like DeKaiser being out there with all this open ice, I'll tell you that. That would have been nasty if Bertuzzi pulled that off, but of course not. You think Eisman does not want to rush this team because McKinnon is available next offseason? I mean, maybe he has a long-term plan like that, but I mean, Colorado's gonna re-sign McKinnon before he hits free agency. I can't see him hitting free agency. Oilers need a goalie and a top 4 D-man. I agree. Yeah, the football thing was the craziest. 14 seconds left. The Cowboys run a QB draw with the intent to spike it, but forgot they needed to hand the ball to the red. Bought the ball. Huh. Yeah, see, that all sounded like gibberish to me because I don't really understand the NFL completely, but I guess it sounds like it was quite the mistake, especially in a... It was a playoff game, right? Or a wild card game? How do you like Suter's play for the Wings this year? I've liked him. I think he's been really solid, especially, like, he was pointless, I feel like, for the first, like, 7-8 games of the season. But since then, he's been putting up points at a pretty good pace, and definitely a huge upgrade from the second-line centers Detroit's had, like, over the past 3-4 seasons. All right, Larkin and Raymond are out there on 4-4. See if they can get something going. But they're with Leddy and Hronek, so I like these guys out there on 4-4. Oh, Larkin just tried to snipe it from the goal line. Larkin's really controlling the pace here. Back to Raymond. A lot of it's still just the outside, though. They can't seem to get it to the middle, and now it's a breakaway for Olofsson. Huge save by Ned. That was a tough play by Larkin at the blue line. Yeah, wild card? Okay, so yeah. So it was a playoff game, technically. Seriously, though, why is there a noon game on a Monday? Some holiday I'm missing or something? Yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day in the U.S. Sportsnet or TSN? I like Sportsnet. What team should I do for franchise mode? Coyotes. Give yourself a challenge. The Cowboys game was basically trying to get a face-off without letting the ref drop the puck. Huh. Yotes, yeah. I agree. He should do the Coyotes. That would be difficult. I'm sad that I have to go, but enjoy the stream. All right, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's have an entertaining third period. $17:30 to go. Veleno out there. Joe Veleno's... I liked his play. He hasn't been really put in the opportunity or in the position to produce a lot offensively, so people look at his numbers and say, like, not really having a great rookie season, but I feel like he's been really solid. And he's been playing on the fourth line for the majority of the year with, like, I mean, Carter Rowney when he was in the lineup and Giovanni Smith, so he's not like he's playing with players that, you know, it's easy to produce offense with. I still like Veleno, though. What should Ned's next contract be? I feel like a lot of it will depend on how he plays next season, because he still has 1 year left on his deal after this year, so I feel like a lot of it depends on that. I feel like it'll be in like the $4.5–5 million range, if I had to guess. Who's your favorite NHL insider? Elliot Friedman, for sure. I like Chris Johnston, too. You try to rebuild the Coyotes. My best player was an 83 overall and somehow win 40 games. PS4 is broken. I feel like GM mode is kind of just broken. I swear there'll be I'll put together a team where like I'm trying to tank and they'll make the playoffs, and then I'll have like a crazy team, or at least overall wise, line wise, and then they don't even make the playoffs. How has the game been? It's been very boring. Is Mitchell Stevens injured? Yes, he has been for a while. I actually forgot about Mitchell Stevens now that you mention it. But yeah, he's been out for a long time. Thoughts on the top 9 of Ronald Larkin, Raymond, Burt, Suter, Fabry, Rasmussen, Veleno, Zadina? That would be ideal. And I feel like that's, I mean, we could likely see that with when Verona comes back. But I mean, also I could see Rasmussen playing center on the third line, because it seems like Detroit really wants to keep him as a center, even though I feel like he's played better this season when he's been on the wing. But yeah, ideally, I would love that top 9, at least with the personnel they have on the roster right now. Already like 5 minutes gone in this period. Still nothing happening. Larkin trying to make something happen there, but Stevens is a good PK guy. Yeah, I like him a lot as a fourth line center. Thoughts on the Wings hiring Lidstrom as VP? I'm happy about it. I think only good things can come from it. Like it's not going to hurt just having his input on everything. He's obviously very smart, so it's not something you're going to see like immediate impact like in games like, you know, this week, but I think down the line it can only help. Yikes, Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner's, I could see him getting dealt at the deadline if a team even wants him though. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I just lost internet, but I guess the stream just kind of refreshed by itself. What are your thoughts on Lucas Reichel in his first 2 NHL games? I actually did not watch either of them. How did he look, though, if you watched? I knew that he was making his debut, and I saw... Actually, I think I saw Hawks line projections on Twitter, and wasn't he, like, centering the first line? Are both teams tanking? I don't think Detroit is tanking. They're the 9 seed in the East right now, right? So, Fabry partial break. Nice save by Dell. Dell looks really good today, I guess. Bertuzzi lines generating some chances here, but one can beat Aaron Dell today, apparently. Is there another matchup between the Red Wings and Sabres? I think there might be one more. So they played on Saturday. They also played earlier in the season when Seider got his first NHL goal. I think this is their 3rd meeting, so I think they have one more, but I could be wrong. Jack Quinn made his debut too. Is he playing in this game? I don't think he's playing in this game. Gagner seems like he likes Detroit. Yeah, I agree. And also, like, I mean, what are you going to get for him? A 7th at this point? So maybe Detroit just doesn't even trade him. I don't know. I think Detroit might have a really quiet deadline, honestly. 13:50 to go. Shots are 19-17 for the Sabres. What's better, winter or summer? Summer. Even though I like skating when the like ponds and stuff are frozen, but that still like hasn't even happened yet. And it's raining today, so that can't help. Larkin line back out there. Come on. Let's at least if this game finishes 1-0, that's gonna be very disappointing. Do you think Fleury gets traded before the deadline? I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Edmonton should definitely go after Fleury. They should go after some kind of goaltender, but how many Hughes are there? There's 3. There's 3, but they have a younger brother too, don't they? Like younger than Luke Hughes, I think there is. I think there's another one. I don't feel like Detroit has pieces they're willing to give up that anyone wants. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like people would want Nemesnikov and Leddy, but I also don't think Detroit would just trade them for, like, peanuts. Like, I think that actually want to get something of value in return, which they just might not get. So I could just see them holding on to a lot of their players. What for you is the optimal count of shots per period, like per team? I feel like ideally you want to have like 10 shots a period if you're a team. Or more. Probably more. If the Oilers get desperate enough, Fleury gets dealt. Yeah, which I think they're already kind of getting towards desperate territory. Bertuzzi to Suter. What a save by Dell again. He's robbed Suter like 3 or 4 times this game, I feel like. Aaron Dell's going to get a shutout, isn't he? Man. After Detroit shuts out Buffalo on Saturday, we're going to get shut out by Aaron Dell. I'm going to say shutout as much as I can, so hopefully I jinx it. Dylan Cousins just made a fantastic play. Almost had a breakaway, but good defensive play by Lindstrom. Surprised he didn't take a penalty there, honestly. Another couple of big saves by Dell. He's looking great. Detroit seems to be coming to life a little bit here. About time. You're in football mode. Yeah, no, it's not in the intermission. Oh, yeah, I forgot to move the game score thing. My bad. Should be able to see it better now. Thoughts are 20-19 for the Sabres. About 11 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game. Still only 1-0. Nice defensive play there by Larkin. Another steady save by Dell. Do you think the Panthers will have success in the playoffs? I really do. I love that team. I love how they're built. If they can get goaltending, obviously they started like 3 different goaltenders in the first round last year, and that can't happen again. They need Bobrovsky to be very good, I think. Red Wings look sleepy this afternoon. Yeah, honestly, both of these teams do, but it looks like it's coming to life a little bit now. Greetings from Germany. What's going on? Blues Stews King? Desperate Wings. This game is going to open up. I hope so. About time Blashill put Bert on the first line. I think he's actually still in the second line. He was just out there with Fabry and Suter. I don't think the lines have been bad by any means. I just think the whole team just looks kind of, sleepy. Like you guys said. Who do I think is the nicest home jerseys in the NHL? I like Vegas's a lot. Arizona's as well. I like the Kachina jerseys. I'll say those two. What's the next team to get a new arena besides Arizona? I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure which arenas are old and stuff. I know Detroit's not getting a new one anytime soon because they just did. Greetings from Nova Scotia. Right back at you. Blashill is about to be on his last year, isn't he? Yeah, next year will be the final year of his deal because he signed a 2-year extension in the offseason. So this is year 1 of that deal. We have another person from Germany. Yeah, where are all you guys from? What time is it in Germany right now? Fedorov is the next head coach? I wouldn't hate it. You guys see what Sergei Fedorov's doing in the KHL? He when his team goes to overtime in 3-on-3, he pulls the goalie and makes it 4-on-3. And I think it worked both times he's done it. They won. Calgary has arena issues, I believe. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense that weirdly shaped that arena is. Thoughts on Costa last month, 887. I thought one of his few downsides, the mental fortitude, or was that Wallstedt? I haven't really watched much of Sebastian Costa this year. I watched him in the pre-tournament for the World Juniors where he let in a good amount of goals against Russia, and that was kind of the reason he was the third string. And it's 2-0. Jeff Skinner makes it 2-0. That's likely going to do it. We got Sweden, Florida, Michigan, Germany, California, Sweden. A lot of people from Europe. Yeah, that top line for Buffalo's just been better. Sider's not happy. Yikes. Sider thinks there should have been a penalty there on Tuck. I don't think I agree. I think he just kind of lost that battle. No one picks up Jeff Skinner out front. He's able to turn and put it in. That line's been good for Buffalo tonight. Man. What are they doing now? Refs are talking to the Blashill and Tanguay. Is he challenging it? Why are you challenging that? Detroit's challenging again. Goaltender interference. This is a very desperate challenge. I don't think it's going to be successful. Yeah, I agree. They're going to lose this challenge. Blashill made the motion that like there was a stick in Nedeljkovic's pads. No, I mean, no. That's not... Let me see. I mean, Tage Thompson puts a stick in Nedeljkovic, but Nedeljkovic has time to recover. They're not gonna overturn that, I don't think. And then Detroit's gonna get a penalty. Yikes. I genuinely don't even see what the challenge is for. It's for who was it? Tage Thompson's stick. His stick moves his pad a little bit, but the goal happens so like long, like he has time to recover, I feel like. I don't know. I mean, goaltender interference is like, it's almost as unpredictable as goaltending itself. You never know what the call is going to be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. Which then Detroit will get a 2-minute penalty. Even if they kill that, then they've lost 2 minutes, right? Like, this is kind of the game here, this challenge. Watching this stream while you're listening to your online lecture at the same time. Hopefully I'm not distracting you. Here's the call. Oh, wow. The ref just said, he was like, it was determined that there was, and then paused and said there was no goaltender interference. I thought he was going to say that there was. So Detroit is going to get a penalty. They're down 2-0. Oh, man. The ref just did a troll job, though. Yeah, I don't think that was a good challenge at all. There was not enough there. I mean, I guess you're desperate, like, 2-0, 10 minutes left, but Buffalo, like, you could still come back from 2-0, and now you have to come back from 2-0 and kill a penalty, so if Buffalo scores in this power play, the game's over. Here from Newfoundland, hope for Mercer to win the Calder. I mean, he has a shot. Well, Buffalo wins. Blash L at it again. Maybe he gets sacked now. No, I feel like no matter what happens this season, he's not getting canned in the middle of the season. Baited on that call. Yeah, I really thought the ref was going to say there was goaltender interference. Who's the best goalie prospect in the league? Probably Jesper Wallstedt. Doing a power play seems a little harsh for a failed review, but I don't know what you replace it with. I think it's fine. Spencer Knight, I mean, yeah, actually, but I was kind of thinking of goaltenders that, like, haven't played an NHL game yet. But seriously, is winning this game beneficial for the Red Wings? If they want to stay in the playoff hunt, it is, but I don't know. They're just kind of in that weird part of the rebuild where they're, like, not awful. They're competitive on most nights, but they're not like high enough in the standings to make. Oh, 2-on-1 shorthanded with Nemesnikov and Seider. What a goal! Let's go. What a pass by Seider. Sets up Nemesnikov. Only the third shorthanded goal of the season for the Red Wings. Let's go. Well, now we got a game again. I guess that challenge worked out after all. Nice pass by Seider. And a really nice finish by Nemesnikov. Let's go, Vlad. Seider jumps up in the play, makes a nice pass. That was a great play. Nemesnikov scoring at like a 20-goal pace. Last time Detroit had a shorthanded goal, they scored one like a couple seconds later. So that would be cool if they did that again. Are you planning on going to an NHL game anytime soon? Or do you haven't been to one? It's surprising. Not with everything that's going on, no. I mean, I don't... Can you even travel from Canada to the States right now? I have no idea. And I want my first game to be a Red Wings game too, so... I wish Seider scored. Yeah, me too, but I'll take a nice assist. You think Seider and Edvinsson will become one of the best deep pairings in the league? If they do get stapled together, which honestly I feel like they might split them up just to kind of balance it, but if they get put together, I mean, it has the potential to be one of the better deep pairings in the league for sure. Do you think the Islanders will suck for the entire year? Yeah, I feel like they're in a bit of a too deep of a hole to get out of, especially in that division. I mean, the Metro is very, very, very good, so... Hopefully Detroit can kill off the rest of this penalty. 15 seconds left. They just cut it down the ice, so... I've been to LCA once. It's awesome. Save your first for that, man. Yeah, that's what I plan on. Why are the Red Wings so different when they're home and away? I feel like that happens a lot with young teams. And, you know, a lot of their energy comes from the home crowd. I feel like they've had a pretty energized home building in most cases this year, so... They're just more comfortable there. Can't fault Blashill. It's been a good season so far. Yeah, you really can't. Like, there's little things like not willing to like change lines if it's not working. Like playing to Kaiser on the top pairing like all season. But is Edvinsson being a bit overhyped due to Seider just being so good? Maybe, but like Edvinsson's having a similar season this year to the one that Seider had last year. So I feel like that's where a lot of the hype's coming from. Suter, another huge save by Dell on Suter. That's like the 5th time he's robbed Suter. LCA is awesome, but the food is expensive. Yeah, like food and drinks at like every arena for a game is expensive. Is Washington a cup contender? I think so. Are you watching the game online? You're at least 15 seconds behind me. I will refresh my stream. That happened last time. Sometimes it just gets behind if it like pauses. But yeah, I'm watching it on NHL Live on the website, so. Who do you think is going to turn out better, Wright or Bedard? I'll say Bedard. What? What comment was it that gets skipped? Alex Stalock was going to be the Oilers starting goalie, yet the media didn't even mention when his career was ruined over the shot. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't know anything about that. But I mean, I just don't know. But okay. Entered this season with low expectations as a Wings fan. Been so happy I'm starting to get overhyped. I don't know how to tame my expectations anymore with this team. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are kind of in the same boat as you now. Like, we expect them to win sometimes. So, when they get on, like, a rough stretch or whatever, it's more disappointing than it was in years past. Because now there's actually expectations. $5 water bottle at the Buffalo rink. What do you think? Who is the best Latvian player? Best Latvian player. I know Zemgus Girgenson's Latvian, but he's not the best right now, is he? I feel like there's others. I can't really think, though. Is Teddy Bluger from Latvia? All right, let's see if Detroit can tie this up. 7:30 left. The Fabry to Bertuzzi line is looking really good. Probably Elvis, yeah. That's it. Definitely has to be Elvis. I completely forgot about him. I wasn't thinking about goaltenders. But yeah, Elvis Merzlikins definitely has to be the best Latvian player. Thoughts are 26-24 Buffalo. So the game has picked up. I guess they're just... I mean, there hasn't been a ton of like very high quality chances. I feel like there's been more high danger chances in this third period than there was in the first two periods combined. 279 super chat from Aiden Plays. Evander Kane, good or bad signing for the Oilers? I mean, he's going to help them on the ice, obviously, but that's not where it ends with Evander Kane, right? Like, you have to worry about everything else, so I really don't know, honestly. With the room that they have right now, which it doesn't seem to be... I'm sorry, Detroit just scored. Who was that? I think that was Larkin off the bench. Let's go, 2-2. So I guess that challenge ended up working well for Blashill because the shorthanded goal and now tie game. I think it was Larkin off the bench. He was flying. That was a nice shot. So it was Bertuzzi. Nice play by Fabry to get it behind the net. Sends it out front. Great shot by Larkin. I forget where I was even at, though, answering your super chat. Oh, yeah, with how the Oilers locker room is right now, which it doesn't seem to be strong. I mean, that's just how it seems. Obviously, you know, we don't know what goes on in the locker room, but I just don't think Evander Kane, or adding Evander Kane to that would be great. So, that's kind of my take on that. Let's go, though, 2-2. We have a game now. The first game we did a watch-along for was the Ducks game, which went to overtime. It looks like we might have another one here. What city do you live in, and do you like their team? I do not live in Detroit, and I know why you cheer for the Wings, so I'm curious. I actually live in Halifax, so we don't have a team. The closest team to me would be Montreal, I think. But yeah, we don't have a team here, unfortunately. Second line is something, man. Really loving the top six. Yeah, Bertuzzi on that second line is looking very, very good. It's balanced out the offense more, I feel like, between the two. Does Larkin get 70-plus points? I think 70-plus is achievable for him for sure. Damn, I switched to the Colorado game and they scored 2. Yeah, what's the score of that game? I guess I should refresh the scores around the league, too. Still nothing halfway through the first of that game. Wings, Avs in Detroit. Who wins? Probably the Avs. I don't see any scenario in which Anderkin is that guy who gets any team over the hump. That's a good point, too. Wolf Storm connection coming in huge. Yeah. With Vrana back, I feel like you can keep that second line together and then have Vrana on the top line instead of Nemesnikov. Then you could have like a Zadina, Nemesnikov, Rasmussen third line. It's just going to balance out things so much more for Detroit when Vrana comes back. Detroit's buzzing now, though. The Zadina line with some good pressure. Give me a Zadina game winner, please. Nice play by Rasmussen on the forecheck. Which NHL player are you most closest to? Which NHL player is the closest to go playing in the KHL? I think maybe you mean. I'll probably say Evander Kane. Imagine a Zadina goal to win the game. Red Wings Twitter would go nuts. It definitely would. He needs that. Zadina needs that for his confidence. The Guelph line back out there again. Yeah, they're really feeling it now. The Wings tied it? Yes, they did. A shorthanded goal by Nemesnikov, and then Larkin tied it not too long after. When is Veronica projected to come back? Well, it was 4 months at the start of the season, I think. I'd say like probably about like a month and a half away maybe. He's skating now, but he's still not shooting, so. Do you think Luke Evan Gleese is underrated? Actually, do not know who that is. Is it a prospect? Is there any way the Wings sneak in past Boston for the second or first wildcard spot when Verona comes back? I don't think so. Boston's just not losing anymore. They're kind of clicking on all cylinders right now, so if Detroit was in the Western Conference, their chances of making the playoffs, I feel like, would be higher. But the East race is really, really tight right now. If Arizona gets moved to Halifax, would you cheer? I would cheer for them, but they wouldn't be my favorite team. They'd probably be my second, though, if Halifax got a team. Red's second rounder in 2019. Okay. Yeah, I've actually never heard of him. The $9.99 super chat from Tim Hoag or Hoag. Why is Shesterkin not getting Hart consideration? I just feel like it's really... Also, really thank you. That's very generous. But I just feel like it's like really difficult for goaltenders to get into the Hart conversation. Like the last time we saw one win was obviously Carey Price. Like I feel like everything has to go right. Like they have to have like otherworldly numbers. Obviously their team has to make the playoffs, and you also have to hope that there isn't somebody, you know, like a McDavid putting up like insane offensive numbers, right? But if the Rangers continue to play well for the entire season, if Shesterkin's numbers don't fall off, which his numbers are insane right now, especially like his goals saved above expected, you can definitely make the case as to why he should be getting Hart consideration at the very least. Is it just me, or is this game the most uninspired hockey that's been played this year? Both teams look like they're in a scrimmage. I would say that for the first two periods, but I feel like this third period has been good. I feel like the intensity's picked up a good bit. Chat has gone up by like 15 since the Sioux2. Yeah, that's a good point. 110 viewers it says right now, which is pretty good. 167 likes. Do you think JT Miller is going to get traded? Much love from Finland. I don't think so. I really don't. He's actually having a really, really good year. I don't think they're going to trade JT. Here's another JT Miller question, kind of. Who do you think is the most underrated player no one is talking about? For me, it's probably Shea Theodore, JT Miller, or Robert Thomas. Underrated player no one's talking about. I mean, yeah, JT Miller's a good one. Like, just the offensive numbers he's putting up. No one's talking. I feel like Huberto's not getting enough love either. Like, he's a legit Hart candidate at this point, I feel like. Looks like someone in the Red Wings just got hurt. I didn't quite see who it was. How much time is left? 3 minutes. Nice save there by Dell on Joe Veleno. What's the score? It is 2-2. 2-2 with about 3 minutes left. Yeah, Detroit's first game against Buffalo this season was insane. Bertuzzi scored 2 late to tie it up and then made the Sider overtime winner. Are you listening to Detroit's broadcast? Love making and calling games. Hate listening to any Wings games without them. Yes, I am listening to the Red Wings broadcast. And I agree. I don't enjoy listening to Red Wings games without them. I liked actually when John Buccigross called their game against Florida earlier in the year, where Detroit had that crazy block shot sequence. Alex Tuck on the breakaway. He misses the net. Yikes, that's not the guy you want to give up a breakaway to. So the game has definitely opened up. Very anticlimactic if Detroit just let up a goal late in the third here. At least let's get to overtime. Do you think Raymond will be the last man in? Probably not, no. I just feel like there's more popular players. Like Stamkos, I feel like will get more votes. That's who I think will get it. And I think Stamkos deserves it too. Do you think there could be a potential Zadina or Veleno trade? Not yet. Not yet. Unless Detroit makes like a Jacob Chitrin move. And then I feel like one or maybe even both of those guys would be included in that. 2 minutes to go. Detroit with some offensive zone pressure here. Oh. Raymond up at the point right now. Hopefully he doesn't get caught. Raymond's activating a little bit. Larkin, please don't be hurt. He looks hurt. Detroit's all over the Sabres right now. With the guys on the ice you want to be out there too. Raymond and Larkin. Back to Leddy. Shot's blocked. What kind of bounce was that? Sabres finally get it out. That was a great shift though. 1:20 to go. You trade Besser for a top pairing D-man. It depends on who and like the age. I'd want it to be like a younger defenseman. And Aaron Dell's standing tall here late in the game. That game between Florida and Detroit, that boost call was awesome. Yeah, I agree. My friend's a Florida Panthers fan. We watched it. I watched it with him. That was insane, that game. I was wondering, do you recognize any of the people that comment on your videos and streams? Or is no one commented enough for you to recognize? I do, actually. I recognize a lot of people. There's a lot of people I notice that are comment on every YouTube video, always in the stream, always in like the Ask Me Anything. So, yeah, I definitely do recognize a lot of people. $20 seconds to go. Shots 30-28 for Detroit, so... Yeah, after the first period where the shots were, what, like 7-5, the game's really opened up, so... I'm just happy the game didn't end 1-0. Not to say Stammer doesn't deserve it, I just want Raymond to make it in. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Lawson Krause to Edmonton? Did that happen, or is that something you want to happen? I think Lawson Krause would be a good fit in Toronto. I think he'd do a lot of what they thought Nick Ritchie would do. I like Lawson Krause, actually. I'm interested to see where he goes if they trade him. Yeah, but overtime coming up. Let's hear your overtime predictions. I will go with... So, Sider scored the OT winner in the first game of the year against Buffalo. Or in the first meeting between the two, not the first game of the year. And then Raymond scored the OT winner in the game against Buffalo as well. Or actually, yeah, so this would be the fourth meeting between these teams. So I think this would be the last one. Who are my OT predictions? I'll go with... I'll go with P. Suter because he's had a really good game. And then I'll go for Buffalo with Tage Thompson. I'll go Suter Thompson. Buffalo Cousins. Tuck will score. Wings in a shootout? I hope we don't see a shootout. Cousins for the OT winner. Zadina for the winner? I would love to see it. They're showing the replay of Sider's first NHL goal November 6th. And then Raymond also had the OT winner. A Little Caesars. Raymond in OT. Raymond OT winning goal. So a lot of Cousins, a lot of Raymond. So Detroit's 5-4 in overtime this season. Buffalo's 1-5. So I'm hoping Detroit can pull this out. Wings winning the shootout on their fourth shot. Fabry is your bet. Fabry's had a good game. That whole line has. Tuck, Larkin. Larkin in the last 2 minutes. This is the fourth game versus Buffalo, yeah. So I feel like, do they play more than 4? I think they probably only play 4, right? So it looks like they're starting Larkin, Raymond, and Sider as they should. I kind of want to cover up the chat because I feel like if I'm behind, someone could spoil it, but For Detroit, Philip Hronek. For Buffalo, Alex Tuck. Mark Stahl. Mark Stahl's not going to see the ice in overtime. I hate to say it, but I'm going to cover up the chat just in case my stream is behind, so I don't get spoiled. So I'm not looking at the chat right now. Larkin wins the draw to Sider. Keeps control of it. Let's go. A Raymond or Sider OT winner would be awesome. Drop pass to Larkin. He has a lot of speed. Nice play there by Dolan, though. Oh my goodness, Raymond. Oh. That would have been insane. Buffalo with possession, but Raymond gets it back. Nice puck protection. Drops it to Hronek. Smart play by Hronek, though. Didn't really have anything there. Detroit's had possession like this whole minute, though. You got Bertuzzi and Fabry out there now. So no center on the ice for Detroit, or a natural center, I guess. Fabry plays center sometimes. What a save by Dell. A one-timer by Fabry. Nice glove save. So Detroit has had the puck pretty much the whole time so far. $128 viewers. Wonder how many of you are actually watching the game, though. I'd like for Detroit to just put Larkin and Raymond back out there. We got Suter and Bertuzzi. So Suter was my pick. So he's out there. He's had a good game. He's got robbed a bunch by Dell. What's happened to Bertuzzi? Mike just picked up something from Bertuzzi. I think he got slashed, maybe? It's 3:25 to go in overtime. Oh, interference, I guess. I don't know. They're not going to call that in overtime, Bert. I have Larkin and Fabry with Leddy, looks like. I like Leddy being out there and throwing three. He's a really good skater. Nice drop pass to Larkin. Over to Fabry. Nice save by Dell again. Came out to challenge the shot. If he stayed back in his net, that's probably in. Came right to the top of the crease, though. Turnover by Yokiharu. Detroit is all over Buffalo. Let's go. There it is. Larkin. Second of the game. From Leddy, I think. So Detroit sweeps the season series of Buffalo. Let's go. So Detroit is 1-0-1 in these watch-alongs. Yeah, it was in overtime. Detroit just won. Larkin got the goal. I could kind of see that coming. Larkin was flying in that overtime. Second of the game. So what's Larkin up to now? Like 18 goals now, I think? Your stream is so late. Yeah. A little bit delayed. That's why I covered the chat up just in case. It's a good win, though. Good comeback win. At least the game didn't end 1-0. That was a lot more entertaining than 1-0 loss. Wings win, yep. That was a good third period to watch. The first two periods were pretty boring, but the game picked up in the third period. So Detroit, yeah, they sweep the season series of Buffalo. Won all 4 games. As they should. Best player on the ice all day, yeah. I agree. You could tell Larkin wanted that one bad in overtime, too. But what's the score of the Avs game? 1-0 Avs. So Detroit is 1-0-1 in the watch parties. Who assisted the goal? I think it was Nick Leddy. Leddy and Fabry, I think. First game I've missed because you're at work. You didn't miss too much in the first 2 periods, but The third period in overtime was fun. I guess we'll read the chat for a little bit here before I go, but that was fun. So glad you do this now. It's hard to talk hockey with family when they don't get the game. This is very cathartic. Thank you. Yeah, man. I'm having fun doing these. Thanks for the stream, bud. Enjoy the rest of it. Yeah, you guys too. I'll read the chat for a little bit longer. I'll look at Detroit's schedule coming up, but maybe next time we'll do like a non-Detroit game because I don't just want to do Red Wings games. I'll see who they play coming up though. If they play, I mean, obviously Detroit versus Buffalo wasn't the most interesting game, but we still had like 100+ viewers. I feel like for the majority of the time. So let me look at Detroit's schedule. They get the Flyers next, but that got postponed, so Detroit doesn't play till the 21st against Dallas. Yeah, so maybe next time we'll do a non-Detroit game. Choose a Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Toby. I'll go with him. Just because of the nostalgia. Did they run Burt on the second line? Yes, he was on the second line the whole game. And that line was very good. I've actually liked the way the lines have looked with Bertuzzi on the second line. Yeah, you have a good day too, man. Appreciate you hanging out in the stream. You think the Red Wings could either get hot or find a way to win one of the 3 Atlantic spots? They're definitely not going to win one of the 3. I mean, I don't even think they're going to catch Boston for the wildcard spot, so they would have to go on a pretty insane run if they want to finish top 3 in the division, let alone in the wildcard spot. But yeah, I guess we've been live for 2 minutes and 43 seconds, so I feel 2 minutes, 2 hours and 43 minutes, not 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So I'm probably going to call it there. Thank you to everyone for hanging out. I had fun. I'm glad Detroit won this time. Planning on streaming on weekends? Yeah. Sometimes. I think the first stream we did was on the weekend, so. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. I hope you had fun. I'll let you guys know when I'm doing this again. This one was kind of impulse. I was going to make a video, but then I seen Detroit was playing, so. Yeah, I guess we'll end it there. You can look out for a video tomorrow where I'm going to do a one from every team, but it's just going to be really not a theme. I'm just going to ramble on about every team, so it should be a long video. Should be fun. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'm going to call it there. I would stay live for the Avs game, but yeah, my voice, I don't think my voice can handle it yet anyways. Maybe when we get a couple more streams under our belt, we can start doing multi-game streams, but I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I will talk to you in tomorrow's video.